he's talking about Body. I think either Body was out or he had it ready. I don't even know, even the original Body might not have been up. He's like, yo, like, I'm thinking about doing a remix, and he's showing me it. And he's like, what, would you be up for like, writing a verse? I can see what happens, like, if it's cold enough, I was like, yeah, mad gassed. And then obviously, dotted the I's and crossed the T's and that sent over. I wrote 7 verses. I went and linked my friend and I'm showing him all these verses. Like, bro, I need to land this verse, you know what I'm saying? And we ended up, like, the first line was from one of the verses. Then the Adiola line was from another verse. And then we kind of just pieced it together.
Oh, together.
Why Adiola?
It's just in the song, innit? Everybody always asks this. So I never met Adiola. I know Adiola. How do you say her last name? Patron, I feel like. Yeah. But no, I never met her till afterwards. And me and her are mad cool as well. It's love. But yeah, it was just in the song. So I was trying to use concepts from their song to put it in the verses. Even like saying like, "Is it me or the lifestyle sweetheart?" That's obviously one of Tion's songs as well. That's where that line come from. And I was just trying to go off their concept, innit?
Nah, you're smart.
Nah, I can't even lie, bro. You just cropped, innit?
Yeah.
You just cropped still.
Tion cropped it straight away.
Yeah.
Is it recording?
Yeah.
Nah, bless you.
Oh, yeah, we just cut it out.
Hey, by the way, I want to start the pod like this, yeah? This would be an interesting one, yeah?
All right.
Purely because...
Let me do intro then, please.
No, wait. I just want to know if our guest recognises this. Just listen.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, what is it?
The Nokia ringtone.
Oh, okay, cool. Just
Yeah. I'm not that young.
Hey, you knew you had
Never had one though.
You knew you had a phone call before the phone call came, you know?
Yeah, I can't lie. The bit at the beginning, I've never heard before. I never heard the beginning.
Brother, you'll be in a room and then you'll hear that like speaker.
like someone's phone's about to ring.
Looking at someone's phone about to ring, brother. I remember them days. But you know what? If you're hearing that, think about the irradiation that was in that room, bro. Bro, the radiation was booming back then, bro. If you're hearing, imagine what your bones and your muscles are feeling.
Yeah, for real.
Man, we're getting sick for no reason back then, bro.
What do you think the phones were powered by, bro? Uranium, bro.
No, but it don't happen no more.
The what?
Phones.
Because the phones just work differently now.
Nah, it's not the same thing.
You said the radiation's different now.
Nah.
It's even worse.
Those phones are Chernobyl. What's it called?
I'm about to say Chernobyl.
What's going on with you, bro?
What?
What?
Well, do you know what it is, though? You know what Chernobyl is?
Go on.
No, what is it?
Say
I thought it was a Street Fighter character. What? I tried to save you.
It's like an abandoned city, innit?
Come on. All right, what's happening, people? Welcome to episode 337 of the Free Tequila podcast with myself, Marvin Abbey. Who else you got in the studio?
Mr. Exposed.
And Tazer Black.
Right, so I put the camera on hard there still, but anyway. And we've got a very, very special guest. Can you know your name, brother, and where you're from?
Yes. Myself, ArrDee, Brighton boy. I feel like they know, if they know anyway.
Come on.
I'm going to start the podcast with this, yeah? So the first time I met ArrDee was on DJ Target show.
Yeah.
So, like, we got a little...
They'll bring it.
We had a backup dancer feature, yeah? Shout out to them, man, though. We appreciate them, but we were in the back, bro. Like, we were next to the cleaners, yeah?
There was a few back rooms for the back
Wow,
room.
we were in the back room, bro.
A back room for the back room.
Bro, our shit was in the front.
Now, you were in the front, though. You had, like, you were in the nice seats.
No,
you
we
know what I'm
didn't even
saying?
get a dressing room. Like, all I was like, put your bags over there.
Yeah.
Imagine just put your bags off camera, like, they won't be on camera, put your bags. Anyway, so... And then Ars turned around to me and he's gone, I used to listen to you, man, still. Like when I used to work at Amazon,
Yeah.
I used to listen to you, man, in the Amazon warehouse. I was like, swear. I was like, yeah. And I was like, Rob, and you never know, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they used to get me through my shift, bro. Definitely, because that's long shifts. I'm doing like 10-hour shifts at night and that, so 10 p.m. till 10 a.m.
What,
You
Brighton?
get one break, kind of like close to there.
One break.
Get one break. Get one 20-minute break.
20 minutes?
Bro, like, they should be illegal then. But there's bare. Have you not seen online the people that like protest the Amazon warehouses?
I've been hearing about
Everyone
it.
moves. It's like robots.
What's
You're not even allowed. I've got AirPods in, but if you get caught, you get 3 sanctions. On your first sanction, you're fired. Eventually.
Oh, wait,
first sanction.
Wouldn't AirPods just make people more kind
Nah,
of...
but they reckon it's dangerous because you're like
you're
big
not...
forklifts and
No,
all
but
that shit.
listen to this though. So yesterday I ordered iPhone case, screen protector, privacy screen, toothpaste, bleach.
Toothpaste from
Wait.
Amazon.
Toothpaste.
The laziness is
lazy.
mad.
Wait. Toothpaste, baby wipes, and bleach, yeah? And it all came in one box.
You could commit murder?
No, wait, what are you talking about?
Brother,
bro?
what kind of murderous...
I just buy this stuff for my house.
No, but
I don't go Tesco's anymore, Amazon. But what I'm saying is, it came in one box. You know, sometimes Amazon's bare different boxes. It came in one box, but all this was in one warehouse.
Yeah, because the fulfillment
Yeah,
centers.
or go to your
But I
nearest
think that's
warehouse.
mad.
Yeah.
No, I know, but
the
like,
fulfillment centers are massive, bro. They have everything.
nah,
24 hours. It doesn't stop. Doesn't turn off.
But if you go Tesco's, is that not all in one shop?
You do have a point, Tazer.
no, but I'm just thinking of the size of Amazon.
I'm asking though. I'm thinking about the size of the local Tesco's. Amazon got massive warehouses, massive
They're
depots.
huge as well.
But we were talking about, them 10-hour shifts and the 20-minute break. You know what I mean? I hear it, but I also want my shit tomorrow. So you know what I mean?
Yeah. When you're not in there, I 100% agree. But when you're in there, it's a lot.
That's mad though. 20 minutes for 10 hours, bro.
Yeah.
It's mad.
When you were younger, did you come up to London as a motive?
I blew when I was 8. I blew. Remember, 16 years old. I was in lockdown. Then I turned 18, still in lockdown. Blew. Came out of lockdown, and it was like I'd never been to a club before. So by the time I had a blue tick and I was a celebrity, I still hadn't been clubbing. I've never been to a festival as like a festival goer. Never done that. I've been to clubs. I've been in crowds and stuff, but I have to like kind of disguise myself and have security and da. So I've never done like just going as like a normal person to a motive as a civilian, innit?
Do you know what's mad though? I've never looked at it like that.
Yeah.
Because I would have just thought that you've kind of had the process that most people have had in terms of being a civilian, going rave and whatever. But the way you've said it is that, brother, my first introduction was A-list.
Yo, yeah, come get this bottle and yeah.
Hey,
Imagine have to go through the struggle,
brother, don't struggle.
We're queuing up on the club and getting turned away and all that. Yeah, it didn't happen.
You never got the bouncer. You never got to the queue and the bouncer looked
Not
down
tonight,
at you,
lads.
looked at you.
Not
Said,
tonight,
you're
lads.
like, you start panicking. You get close to the door. Not tonight. What?
And what's
I'm wearing
worse,
shoes and
like, what did I
trousers,
do?
bro.
but you know what's
What does that
annoying
do?
about them security is they knew from the cameras while you were at the back of the queue that you weren't getting in.
Yeah.
But they let you get all the way to the door. And man says, not tonight. I'm like,
Hey.
you could have told me
Hey,
this
No, but the worst one is when man looks
minutes
at. But
ago.
the thing is, you see man peep
No, but do you know
down
what it is
the
though?
queue.
Do you know what it-
Can't lie, the London clubs are the ones that's more like that. Even now, like as a celebrity or whatever you want to call it, I've been like turned away from London clubs.
Serious?
Yeah. Some of them are disrespectful. I'm not going to draw any of them out. But
No, but did they know who you were?
Yeah.
Or was this, I swear.
yeah.
Bro, you're telling
Yeah, but they just might fit because he's young.
James, what's that place in Dalston that we queued up outside of? Remember
Well,
that?
Visions.
Brother.
I didn't even queue.
Bro.
I saw you, man. I said,
Bro, they turned bare man. I was
Brother,
in the
that
queue with celebrities, bro. People were getting turned away. They were vicious
They
with
don't
it.
care. They don't care over it.
Brother, they were making celebrities queue. Like, who you think you are getting the queue? I'm
No,
like,
but certain celebrities didn't. But they just let you know if you're levels, you get in. If you're not, wait there a second. And it's just, and the way the club was, like, you just drive past, you just see bare man outside, like, you be out the window, what, you can't get in now? Right, cool.
yeah.
I'm not
You're
going
like,
in.
myth. No, that was proper. It was
But
one of
someone
those.
will do that, come out, and get in. And you're there like, oh, brother, I spoke to you. Like, why did you, you know what I mean? When you jumped out,
No,
why
but,
did you
but
say,
the
yo,
funny
like,
thing is,
Taze, let me roll?
but I've done that. One time I was at, I can't remember, let me not say what club it is, let me not say who I was with. But we've got to the club now, and we've already patterned our entry. We've got outside now, and there's a couple man that know, man, like, oh, what's good? We trying to get in?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, we're just gonna try a thing still. So my
So
bridges
now
said-
they want to come with you.
no, that's what I'm saying, but they don't know, so we're not letting them know
No, that
that
we got a
we've got
pattern.
entry.
Yeah.
So my brother said to me, you know what we're gonna do? Just put your head down and walk in. That's what we're gonna do. Don't look back. Put your head down, walk in. So we're just talking. No. Everyone just put their head down, walked in. So you can see the people looking at us like, but we done it so fast, they were in. That was it, bro. Like,
Did he get in the end?
I don't know. I don't know if they got it. I'm not too sure.
They clearly did it, 'cause they
But,
all came to
were
you.
you on that holiday with them man in Cancun where they've got into the door with the chicks and found out how much it is and gone in and just left the chicks outside? Because I think it was like $200 per person. And they've got a couple chicks,
that's
American chicks,
wild.
at the door. But they had the wristbands in it, so they got in.
Wait,
like,
who are you talking about? Who went Cancun?
you know which one of our friends it
And I was there.
Oh, that's the one years ago where they left the chicks at the door.
Wait, hold on.
How many occasions have
No,
you
not
been-
recent.
How many occasions the man them left to the
No,
door,
no.
you know?
This is years ago.
No.
This
I
is
went
years
Cancun
ago.
last year.
Yeah, no. This is a couple years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah. I
so
didn't
we're
incriminate myself for no reason, you know.
So they've gone out there. So he's moved to these American chicks or whatever, talking, and they're like, yeah, we'll take you. You know, me lot can come with us. I'll pay entry. But I think he was thinking like it's $20 or something because you're in, Cancun. Was it Cancun or DR? One of these two countries where they're like, it's light work. come on, it's going to be a quick 20. They said $200 a person. There's a couple chicks at the door. You know he's tight as hell as well, so you know who it is now. He's tight.
$200.
No, a few tight, man.
No, super tight.
No,
You know what I
I know a few tight, man.
I know he's talking about if he says super tight.
Super tight. You know who I'm talking about. So they've got in
Everybody
there, bro.
hates Chris
He
Dad
left it,
tight, bro.
He left the chicks at the door. The
Everybody
chicks
hates
were
Chris.
out at the door waiting for man to come back and get them in, and he never came out.
If I'm not paying $200.
Yeah, neither.
No, but I would have told him though.
I'm not paying $200 for myself.
So now imagine this, bro. Literally,
Is it
imagine
like-
4 or 5 chicks. That's a back. So that's
Yeah, that's-
£1,000.
For entry.
Yeah, there's chicks already in the club, bro.
And that's what it was. He left them by the door, man said, have a good night.
Yeah.
That's like going to a sweet shop and then you have to buy Twix to get in. There's Twix in there, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the
Raw, but-
That analogy was
Marvin,
mad.
that's the holiday that my man was
Hey, that's
man was
a comedian.
wearing.
There's a bad boy.
a comedian
I can't lie to you. When I said it, I had bare silence. I was like, "Rah." That one didn't land still.
That's the holiday taser where your boy where knew he was a maniac because man they were like he was on holiday, yeah, in slim fit, 3/4. What? He was on holiday in slim fit, 3/4.
Yeah, he got cooked in the group.
You know who it is?
Do you know when a man gets cooked in the group so bad, yeah?
Yeah.
That they
We got a
start
couple of them.
that they start saying, "I get girls though. I get money."
Yeah,
Brother,
yeah,
no
swear,
one
putting
even
it on everything.
no one even asked that.
everything, I swear on my life.
Man get girls, man get money. Though. What's going on? I said, brother, why? What's wrong? Like
Calm down.
fire back. The person who cussed you, cuss them back. I get girls, get money. I said, yeah, you're hurt.
No, you're
Like, how did you grow up? Because in terms of, you said that you in lockdown was 16. So how comes you were rapping? Why did you believe it was gonna work? Do you know what I'm saying? As in, like, what kept you going?
Yeah. Rap, falling in love with rap music happened in like primary school. Like I used to save up pocket money. Used to get like a $5 in it. So I'd save up for like every 2 weeks. And we go out, my brother would get like sweets every week or something. I'd save up every 2 weeks. And I'd get like, I think the first album I bought was an Eminem album. Might have been like Curtain Calls, The Hits or Encore, one of the two, innit? I had both of them, bro.
must be like 99p, bro, because you know you said 18 the other day, bro. You got that in the pocket bucket at HMV.
Nah, that must have been expensive. If it's the other day, it was expensive then.
Yeah. It would be like,
Curtain
it's like
Call, Eminem?
they were like eight, like £9, like £8.99.
It's Eminem, bro.
Yeah, and we're going as though it's not. Yeah. But yeah. So fell in love with it like that, and just sit on my bed. I used to have what are them CD things called? You know, you can put a CD in and you can plug your headphones into it.
Walkman, this man.
Yeah, I had one of them. I used to take it in my book bag in primary school, innit, and listen to music. Or like, but I was always listening to music. And then used to
Must have
do.
been mad because everyone else had MP3s and iPod.
My mum just had one of them. No, I wasn't bothered, innit? Like, but, yeah. Then secondary school come, year 7, and we just used to do rap battles. You know, you have, like the private music rooms within the classroom. And yeah, used to do rap battles, and then eventually no one wanted to do it with me anymore. So I kind of became like the jammer of my group because it was just long for him. And they're like, oh no, like, you should write though. Like you're actually hard. Started writing. Like it was shit at the time, or yeah, back then.
That's when you started, yeah.
Yeah, that's when I started writing. And then don't know, my mum's quite heavily into like all this spiritual stuff, as I'm sure you lot have seen all the ways people spun that narrative. But and like manifesting and all of that. So you know the kind of saying like monkey see, monkey do. All parents say to you like, oh, you can do whatever you push yourself to and believe it and you can do it. But like actually seeing it and seeing what she done, like she brought up me and my brother basically on her own, had 2 jobs, went back to college, well, got her GCSEs, then went back to college, now she's at uni, got her black belt, and didn't even make it seem like a struggle or like it was, like she wanted to do it so she could.
You say
So
black belt?
Yeah.
In what?
The way man threw that in, like, what, like martial arts black belt?
Yeah, kickboxing, innit?
That's a bad shit. Brother, what's the GSCs?
Yeah, my mum would punch me up. It weren't nothing like, got one of them boys just like, fuck you, mum. Yeah.
You had to weigh up your options.
Yeah, it weren't that. And then, yeah, so just, I always kind of believe, if they can do it, why can't I?
it's
So,
possible.
like, almost in the sense of, like, Jay-Z weren't always Jay-Z. He was someone
yeah,
before that, so why can't I do it? And, yeah, just manifested that.
So basically, the way it seems is like your mum was like, basically Superwoman. So
Yeah, literally.
So you saw it and you're like, anything's possible now,
Yeah.
so you just started writing. So when did
I
you...
think without even realising at the time, I only know that now, reflecting and looking back.
Yeah.
So
That's
how
sick, man.
but how did you get good then, in terms of, because I know it might be a cliche question, but you said you weren't good, but how did you get good, or how did you improve? Because a lot of times with certain rappers, as you said, not everyone was Jay-Z in it.
Yeah.
So at one point in time, Jay-Z weren't Jay-Z. Jay-Z weren't the guy you're like, ooh.
But man used to call Jay-Z shit before he blew. Like, no one was signing him and stuff.
Bro. Is it cold?
It's getting there.
No, is it cold?
What's going on now? Man's telling me to
No,
turn it off.
wait. Is it cold?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's blowing cold air. Is what I'm saying. So turn it off for a bit.
Is it blowing cold air to you? It's definitely said -18.
Yeah, I get what it says, but it still feels hot. Is what I'm saying.
It's baking in here.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, you did the mode.
Yeah.
That's how I know a man that stayed in bare hotels. I don't know what. Oh, so I've heard it.
So why don't you know how to use it then?
Is this camera on me?
That's why he said so. I've heard.
That's what I'm saying, Taser. You know what I mean? If it's about a man who's been bailed, why doesn't he know how to use this shit?
Simple. Cool.
Right.
I should work at some point.
Yeah, no, I was gonna
Yes.
just interject quickly and say that.
Go on, Taze, with the big words.
No,
Be interject.
no. Think
You
about
start
it.
rapping.
Wait, you're dumb. No, wouldn't he think that what his mum is doing is something special only because he's come out and realised that it's not the same for everybody else? Because technically, what his mum's doing is not wrong. I'm applying myself, I'm raising my son, and I'm working and getting better and better. Do you get it?
No?
No, I'm just saying. You know what he said? Like you said, so your mum's like supermum.
Superwoman.
Yeah, superwoman. Yeah. But why is that? It's only different because he's compared it to everybody outside. It shouldn't be any different in his house.
No,
But that's
but
all he's seen.
Yeah. Like,
Do you know what I mean?
that's
So-
how I grew
so
up.
that's
So that
what-
was normal.
yeah,
to
it was
me.
normal
but
to
that's-
him.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
but that's why he said that. Like he
So like
only
to some of my
realised
other
it now.
friends,
Yeah.
when I'm like, I'm like, it wasn't even like I want to be a rapper. It's like, what are you gonna do? I was like, I'm gonna be a rapper. I'm like, how? Yeah, you ain't gonna be able to do that. But in my head, it's like, why would you even have that mentality?
Yeah,
It was normal for me to think the way I think, kind of thing.
But then, so growing up, do you think it was possible? Obviously, you said it was possible, but I think me and Taylor had a conversation earlier on about rap in the UK.
Yeah.
And a long time ago, it was, if you weren't from London, man didn't care.
Yeah.
Like, no one cared about anyone else. Then, obviously, Birmingham had their time with grime, with, like, Devil Man. I remember with Skepta, like, and there's certain people that started to
Yeah,
pop
with
up
JK
in...
and Invasion of that.
Yeah, started to pop up in it. And then, obviously, Bugsy, who's in Manchester, then is it Remtrex?
He's bomb as well, yeah.
So, like, you started to see pockets of, like,
Even
People-
J1 Coventry.
Coventry, then...
That was
man
the
from
first thing
Liverpool.
I saw where it was different. I remember he done his black box. It weren't like big, but
Who, Remtrix?
no, J1.
Okay.
Like, because you had, like you said, you had Birmingham, Manchester, London,
Yeah.
and then J1 come, and that was like one of the first out of town rappers.
Yeah,
I
he's
saw.
from Coventry. He's like,
Yeah.
bro.
But I think it was weird because London was this place where, like, everyone, the quote-unquote best rappers were from London, but the voices all sounded similar.
Yeah.
So when you started to hear these people with different voices on a track, it started sounding, like, refreshing, and you started to think, oh, right. Then you
Yeah.
started to see other areas. So
And also, rightly or wrongly, like, especially like rappers that rap about struggle or like their background and all that stuff, a lot of stories eventually abroad. It got mad saturated anyway, and a lot of people have similar stories.
Yeah.
So it made I feel like that's why something that helped me along the way was like I've got a completely different narrative that I'm talking about. It's like it's fresh in it, it's refreshing.
So how did the body track come about?
Yeah, it was a weird one. Like literally everything that's happened thus far in my career feels like it's all just been written and meant to be. Even from the start of like when I met my manager and we done my first freestyle Cheeky Bars. Before that was out, Virgin who's over there pulled him out like to another room in a party, and I was like, "Yo, like shit's about to change now." And he's like, "Oh, what are you talking about? Like, why is this so different to then?" And I knew then, but yeah. So Cheeky Bars was the first freestyle I put out, and I think Tion Wayne just likes the post, but on my page, you weren't following me yet, but I was gassed. These times I didn't even got a blue tick. I must have had like 10K, 15K, something like that. Just like the post, so I know he's seen it.
In the radar.
Then I done it, yeah, exactly. Then second freestyle I done after that was like a month after, 6 a.m. He followed me and he messaged me in it. I was like, yo, like this is cold. Keep going. Just like little motivational message. Again, mad gas. These times I've grown up listening to all these rappers since I started secondary school, right? Especially Tion as well. And then it was a weird one. I was at an apartment in London these times. I've signed my deal now. I got a little bit of dough. Bought myself like a Gucci bag and some fucking like clothes and that, the same thing. Like I feel like a lot of people did. But yeah, it was just some girls. Went to go get some bottles. Got ID'd. So I didn't even get the bottles. I didn't have my ID on me. Went back to the apartment. This is in Fitzrovia, in West, and it's like apart hotels. So there's like bare apartments in this one block of hotels. But I'm standing outside of my own now, trying to get in, and G-wagons pulled up, like blacked out car, all tinted. Bare man, I've jumped out. But at least four. Like there's a couple other whips as well, but 4 or 5 of them have got ballies on. I think, fucking hell, this could get low. I've got like 4 grand worth of clothes on me. You know what I'm saying? And then they're all trying to get into and like they're big. You know Tion, he's a big guy, innit? So Yeah, they've all bowled in, they're trying to get to the hotel, and I thought, yeah, let me try, like, just, and I'm like, oh, you man, I got the code if you man are trying to get in. And he's like, oh, what? Is that ArrDee, yeah? So I'm gassed again. I'm like, oh, my first bit of, like, fan recognition. I was like, yeah, come on, taking it off, and it was Tion. And they're staying, like, just one floor up. It was, like, his brother's birthday. So he was only showing face for a little bit, and, like, went in there, had, like, a couple of drinks with him, there's some chicks in there. This time I'm just trying to play it cool, innit? Like, this is the first time I've been around a rapper, really, like, in that vicinity.
That is sick.
But he's talking about body. I think either body was out or he had it ready. I don't even know, even the original body might not have been happy. It's like, yo, like, I'm thinking about doing a remix, and he's showing me it. And he's like, what, would you be up for, like, writing a verse? I can see what happens, like, if it's cold enough, da-da-da. I was like, yeah, mad gassed. And then obviously, dotted the I's and crossed the T's, and that sent over. I wrote 7 verses. I went and linked my friend, and I'm showing him all these verses. Like, bro, I need to land this verse, you know what I'm saying? And we ended up, like, the first line was from one of the verses, then the Adiola line was from another verse, and then we kind of just pieced it together.
Oh,
So why Adiola?
It's just in the song, innit? Everybody always asks this, so I never met Adiola. I know Adiola. How do you say her last name? Patron, I feel like.
Yeah.
But no, I never met her till afterwards, and me and her are mad cool as well. It's love. But yeah, it was just in the songs. I was trying to use concepts from their song and just put it in the verses. Even like saying like, "Is it me or the lifestyle sweetheart?" That's obviously one of Tion's songs as well. That's where that line come from. And I was just trying to go off their concept, innit?
Nah, you're smart.
Nah, I
Because
can't
at the
even
end of
lie,
the day,
bro. You just cropped, innit?
Yeah.
You just cropped.
But
Yeah,
Tion clocked it straight away.
I remember that song as well.
The fans will clock it as well.
Yeah.
You say that, but I didn't
No, if
clock
they're
it.
fans of Tion and they're listening to the tune and Tion's telling them.
Yeah, I've
But
got
the
a
way
few
you're
comments.
explaining Tion, it sounds like Tion is talking to his fans and saying, yo, listen, what I'm saying, ArrDee.
Yeah. But
And
even
they're like, all right, cool, let's take him in, let's hear him.
even
And
me
he smashed
getting on the song. Well, we're cool now, so I'm not even going to mention his name and that. But there are certain A&Rs on that on his team that were like, "Nah, why are we going to put this kid on?"
Yeah, I heard him saying that still.
Yeah, and he argued it. He's like, I like the verse. I want it on the song. Obviously, they didn't even want the song out in itself.
Yeah,
anyway, they
yeah,
didn't like it. He paid for the video himself. But yeah,
Can you see why they thought like that now? Now that we're reflecting.
I mean, in the position I was in, nobody knew whether I could even write a hook. Nobody knew whether I was going to have longevity. I had 2 freestyles out. I've been in the game 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So.
That verse landed though, bro.
Yeah,
I've seen grown man in raves.
What?
I was in the shower, buddy. Like, man are just screaming out at the old I want to roll with it.
But
The Americans-
international, I went to,
it's
like,
kinda like-
So there's the video, the white guys as well.
yeah,
in the garden.
yeah, the little remix and that.
But you know,
The Americans love that. Like, if you think
Yeah.
of that song, that was the part where the Americans would just go crazy over that bit.
Everywhere I travel, everywhere I've been on holiday, I've done near enough most of the world now, whether it's shows or on holiday. It gets played in a bar somewhere, no matter what the language barrier is.
Okay, the
in that
level
place.
And it's always that verse, like the song would start there.
do you know what?
Yeah,
it is?
yeah, yeah.
Do you know what it is? I think it's because it's like the verse kind of it's a mad verse because it's kind of like it's a geezer verse
Yeah.
on a drill song. Do you know what I'm saying?
Also, I
Does
feel
that make
like without people may maybe not even notice it, but in terms of like following it and listening to it, it's the only verse I've ever wrote where like the first 2 lines rhyme, and then the next 2 lines are a separate rhyme, and the next 2 lines are a separate rhyme. I ain't got a whole rhyme in 16 in that. Whereas every other verse I've wrote, you use like a 8-bar rhyme scheme, and then you change it for the next 8 bars.
But why did you do that way?
Didn't do it intentionally. It was a thing of
Because
I wrote
you-
different
because you
verses. and
pieced them
I
all
picked out
together.
different bits, innit?
Would that explain? Yeah.
And
that
you know what
explains
I've always said as well, and I think for me that's what works for ArrDee and it works for H as well, because I feel like it's a weird one, you know, because like I said, sometimes when people, you know what I mean, listen to artists, or you're like, well, he sounds black, or he sounds this, and I was like, bro, it doesn't, and it sounded so fucking sick, because you're like, you know what you think of British culture as it is, and that's what it worked. It was literally like,
Listen
it was,
to
yeah,
the
it was,
idea. So I said it as and this is how I actually pitched myself to the label and Sam and that at the time when I was in the meeting. But you see how like Americans think of us.
Just a mic. Just pull it close to you a bit. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, see how the Americans, or some of the Americans think of us like tea, crumpets, kind of thing, like white boy Brit.
Cup of
That's
tea, yeah.
that kind of is me. I am cup
And
of
it
tea and
work-
crumpets in
and
the
it
morning. So
fucking works.
so it's more digestible for people outside the UK or America, for example. Like, that's a British rapper because I'm being very British.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Extremely British.
that's why I like the verse as well, because it's kind of like, Adiola want to roll with the geezer.
I interject?
It's like, brother, she wants to roll with the geezer. Yeah, because man,
But
geezer.
it- no, but
like,
it
that's
was
why I
just-
rate it,
yeah.
because I'm like, yeah, man, a
Still
geezer,
rolling.
bro.
You're so
No, but it's
dumb.
true though.
because it would have been easy for, you know what I mean, for ArrDee, like, I'm rapping, I want to sound as London as possible.
Yeah, I put a belly
But
on
you
and
like-
chat shit. And
you're like, but you know what I mean, you can even change your tone.
But listen, no, can I quickly just say this? I need to give you your flowers because the way you're talking, yeah, you
pun
sound like you
intended.
know what you're doing. I don't know if you lot are getting that. He sounds like he knows what he's doing,
but
and he
but-
deserves everything he's getting, bro.
No, but the thing is, it sound number one, it's making sense because remember when we were
No, it's making sense because he's explaining it.
not just that, but remember
He's
when we
doing
were
it and he's
when we were
done
the
it.
target.
No,
thing,
I know,
yeah?
but how would you know? You don't like.
I do, but if you let me land the play, it's
sorry,
like,
sorry,
my
my bad,
guy,
my
what's
bad.
going
Sorry,
on?
my
You get
bad.
me?
Sorry, go on.
When we were at Target thing, remember I done the Oliver Twist song.
Yes.
So and I remember we were all sitting there because remember we hadn't heard anything other than your verse on
Body.
On Body. Yeah. So we were sitting there, and obviously
Let's see how he lands.
we've had a conversation with you, like, and you've said, yeah, listen to the pod, whatever. So now I'm like, right, okay. Then when Oliver Twist was dropped, I remember us having a conversation saying, nah, ArrDee's good, you know.
He knows what he's doing.
Because we heard that song and we were like, it's very hard for people sometimes to make a track or have a buzz and continue it after.
Yeah,
or
another
do
song.
especially
something
after
song.
that level of that
level.
could have so easily been a climax
And we were
for
like,
so
no,
many people.
that
innit?
song's cold. So now you saying he knows what he's doing, I feel like from that moment I saw it, I was like, nah, this brother knows what he's doing. Stories and like,
No, you're right.
There's a talent there.
You're
I remember that
definitely right
conversation.
in saying that, and I think a lot of it screws over a lot of artists where you come out, you go all the way up, and then you're like, where do I
Yeah,
go
where'd you
from
go
here?
from there?
And a lot of people, you know what I mean, don't know what happens because think about it.
I feel like I was kind of the opposite for me. I was kind of lucky. I think that blessed me because it was like done the 2 freestyles. And it's like, oh yeah, but and obviously everyone's always hating him because I've been very like flamboyant with like my attitude and like I'm not acting bad, but I'm still look like cocky and people either kind of it's like very Marmite, you either love it and you rate it or it's the complete opposite. So like done the 2 freestyles, he's like, oh, what's he gonna do after that? Done the verse, he's like, oh, but he can't write a hook though. And done Oliver Twist and it was like, oh yeah, but he's only big because of the industry plant thing. And then I done the Daily Duppy and they're like, oh yeah, but he ain't gonna be able to rap like a freestyle out again. And I done the Lemon Pepper. So it was like each time I had that.
Has never heard all this. It's like, yo, what do you
but
want from me, man?
I think it was good, innit? Because it gave me something rather than focusing on, I'm up right now. It's like, okay, well they think that, so let me tackle that. And then there were other things to tackle rather than just getting kind of complacent.
I'm not
and
gonna lie to
soaking
you.
up all the stuff.
Without saying no names, there's certain rappers that we know that have faced that as well, and they're still struggling from it.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm not gonna say no names, but we know. No, bro, I'm just saying.
I said, what you know?
No, that we listen to. That every time they do something, there's another hurdle that's put in front of them.
Yeah.
They're not just accepted.
Do you feel the pressure, or is it for you? You're like, you know what, I'm enjoying it because I've wished for days like this and I've got it, or is it because life's changed now? Obviously, I'm sure you can't go to certain places now without a
can't even go to
Bally
Tesco's
or
and
Remember that still? I can't even go to Tesco's. But yeah, how is it?
It's like it's the same as anything. Like you have ups and downs, innit? Sometimes it's sick, sometimes it's shit. Like I don't want to be one of them people that's like, oh, like fucking get the mini violin out because I have blessings with it as well. So yeah, it has ups and downs and it's difficult. I feel like at certain points the pressure got to me. I'm kind of over the pressure now. Whereas like in the year I had or the year and a half I've had where I've done like X amount of songs that I've charted and for a little while, I got into like this kind of bad habit of like, okay, well, the next song I do needs to chart, and if that last song went number 6, if I don't go on number 5, I've flopped kind of thing. And that is a bad mentality to have because every song that I have wrote that's charted and done well, I didn't have the mindset. I didn't write Oliver Twist thinking it was going to be what it was. I just wrote it because I was enjoying writing the song. That's the music I wanted to make. So yeah, I'm kind of the pressure for a bit, but I'm kind of over the pressure now. Where I just want to this year for me anyway. There's more proving like my lyrical ability, my longevity, and like just like proper making like real music that can live. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the charting stuff's here today, gone tomorrow as well. Even like I'll openly say, even songs I've made, they might not necessarily have a message behind them. They're just kind of to keep a little buzz around your name, and then it goes back down again. Especially nowadays as well, the attention span's so short.
And you know what else has kind of disappeared slowly?
love a
Taze?
TikTok, boy.
Yeah.
Nah, but that's something. Have you noticed that's something that's kind of withered away? Remember how TikTok was bossing
Had
all
this
the songs?
conversation the other day with my manager.
Yeah. And it's not doing.
It's not doing what it used to do.
Remember, before, literally, that's how I feel like that was the structure before, where they'd be like, cool, your song, if it does well there, it's going to do well, you know what I mean? Kind
No, but
of.
some
But
songs
it,
have just.
it exploded. Sorry, it exploded so rapidly. So like Oliver Twist, we was one of the first people where TikTok kind of pitched a campaign to us, and we worked with them, and they were happy to because it was like a new platform. Not everyone was doing it. I think Body was like the first kind of UK transition thing as well.
Yeah.
So there, we've done that together, and then after that, everyone started doing it. And then when we approached them again, they were like, "No, like, we don't need you no more.
Yeah,
you
because
got to
that's
pitch
what-
to us
Tik-
now, innit?"
TikTok-
No thanks.
Yeah, you got to pitch to
TikTok-
us now.
I rate that still.
TikTok,
I get it.
bro,
Fuck
TikTok
yeah,
was
man.
smart. They
used
killed
you.
that. They did
I
that
mean, it is
really
what it is.
quickly, and they did that with a lot of artists. Because if you remember Wes when he had his song, remember Wes and ArrDee?
Nah, yeah, go on.
When that came out, what's the name of the song again?
Why I'm thinking of Nice to Meet You?
I
That's
thought
not
Nice to Meet You, yeah.
No, bro, we did the launch party for the single.
I know, but
the
all I
Batman
think of
one.
is Nice to Meet
Yeah,
You.
I forgot. Yeah, no, that
Catch
came
Man.
after. Yeah, that's the one.
Batman
So
one.
with that song there, so I told you that's how we picked. So when I was spoke to Wes when it was coming out. So basically, TikTok at the time, he was one of I think 3 or 5 TikTok ambassadors that they had
Yeah,
in the UK
that's what I mean.
at the time. So for him, he was a TikTok ambassador and he had the song coming out. So their song did very well because TikTok put
They had to push behind it.
everything. Literally, I'm talking about they had that song in influencers' hands
Have you
before it
seen-
was out.
Yeah.
Like
Have you
they
seen
had
what
influencers making videos.
Have you seen what they're doing now?
What?
So they're just pitching to you direct on your TikTok and offering you a fee for a campaign.
Well, like on your For You page.
Right on TikTok. Yeah, right on TikTok.
Mad.
Like there's certain people that are verified that TikTok are just liaising with them
That's
direct.
off, you know.
And it's like
Marv, it's not on.
off. And it's like, let's
Crack
say
the door open for like 30 seconds, you know, let a little bit of that cold air in.
That thing was going cold, then it was off.
oh, okay, maybe that's the mode that he set.
No.
Let's let that cold
Nah,
air
it's
hit
cool.
us
Doors
for a
open.
minute.
No, I turned it off still.
Yeah, so you see, like when you get approached, like you get sent an email and it's a agency approaching you saying, "Oh, by the way, are you interested in campaigns?" Or you might just be part of a friendship group and someone works for the PR company, so they just approach you that way. Now TikTok are raising that, and I'm just coming to you direct from your account. This is a campaign. These are the details. This is how much you're offering. You're interested? Yes or no?
But you know why that's
good for independent artists,
But you have to apply.
But you
And
know
then
why
they'll
that's
verify and
wavy
let
for
you know.
TikTok? Because they have all the analytics. Think
Yeah.
about it. They know what does well, what's this. And you can't even guess their numbers up.
No,
you
but
can't
it's
even guess
also
the
that
numbers up.
their algorithm's different to any platform that's
But they-
ever been around.
Well,
and
okay,
it doesn't
but-
even make sense. I
Brother.
can't, like, no one,
But what-
anyone who tells you they know how to work their algorithm.
Bro,
so
no,
the,
but
shit.
this
the,
is-
the thing is
Chat
with TikTok,
shit.
you can post a video today and it gets 1 million.
Yeah, but they
you
said
can post
that-
it tomorrow, 104.
Yeah.
You're like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's
Is
mental.
this 1 million here? This is funnier than this shit.
Yeah, they
Like,
said
it doesn't make no sense,
No, but
bro.
someone came out today and said that someone who works at TikTok has come out and said that they've released a statement saying that they can control it. Of
course they
so they
can.
can pick the content that goes viral. It's called heating.
Yeah, but that's not for everyone.
No, they pick and choose, innit? They
No,
pick
pick
and
and choose what to go viral.
No, but for example, if they like someone or they like a creator, they can say, all right, you know what? If you're working, for example, if they're like, oh, we've signed Taze to be a TikTok ambassador, we'll just boost all your stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
I know what I'm saying. So it looks better on
No, but-
us.
but
and
no, but
you.
they've never admitted
I
Big
don't-
up TikTok, though. I'm
I
not a
don't-
part of this conversation. I still want all of that.
But I don't think it's just for random. Like they're just scrolling and they're like,
Ooh, that looks funny.
Adiola. Let me boost that. They're not gonna do that, bro. It's not. I don't think they're doing it for random people.
Boy,
I
they're
think it's
saying
for people who they care about.
Yeah.
I don't even care about it. It's just, bro, think about it. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, it's all about advertising for them. That's literally all it, remember, that's the revenue stream.
Yeah.
So for them, it's literally whatever's good will draw in traffic and will make them, you know what I mean? Add revenue. That's it. That's why certain things get, you know, where your video just disappears because they're like, that's not good for the advertisers. You know what I mean? You're killing us right now, and then your shit will just disappear into the nether regions.
Yeah.
Essentially,
Alright,
certain
so-
stuff is at the forefront. 'cause
How
it's just
many-
great for ads?
How many festivals have you performed at so far? Which one was your favorite one?
Got 2 favourite ones, you know. I got Longitude, which is in Dublin. Was the first time you know, like artists, I felt like I'd leveled up a bit as an artist because they'd made a chant for me. So they were going, ArrDee, 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 and obviously that's like the first chant I've had for my name. That was before I come on stage. That was after I come off stage.
Like a football team.
When the next act was on stage, they were still chanting it because the set was fuck it. The set was the bollocks, innit? I'm not gonna lie, it was hard. I was charged up for that one.
The bee's knees and that.
But yeah, so that was one of my favourites, and also Leeds Festival, the one I've that just passed. So the 1975, I was the last act. So you obviously got like the second tent, which is like the rap tent, and you got the main stage in it, and that tent's still massive. But the 1975 were on that same time as me. It's like 10:30 or something, like right at the end of the festival. They pulled out in it, so the entire festival had nowhere to go but my set. So this tent was ram. Like the overspill of people
Was mad.
was mental. Or the stage management coming over, like, you can't perform, it's just too dangerous. Our team are telling them, like, the longer you're gonna make them wait, like the more rowdy they're gonna get.
So why didn't they just put you on the main stage then?
People are already there, innit? But I prefer the tents anyway. The sound reverberates better, and like it's a proper
Yeah,
vibe
yeah.
in the tent.
Vibes,
Yeah, the
yeah.
vibes is in the tent. But Yeah, and they were like,
It looks more
there
random.
were certain times they were telling like, just make sure you tell them calm down and control them. Obviously, I've walked out and told them calm down and that. But by about halfway through the set, I'm lost in it. We're starting like the craziest mosh pits and like it was just bad. And I felt like I had so much power in that moment. Like if I told them to burn that tent down, they would have burnt that tent down. Like it was, yeah. And just like the feeling you have of having that much power over such a big group of people and all together. And it's like I put a hand up, everyone puts their hand up. Like it was.
How does that feel though? Because like,
Yeah, you can't get
It's a
that.
drug.
He can't get kind of power.
what?
You can't get that kind of power.
What are you talking about?
Dictator. You can't do that.
These men are sickos. These men always make man sound like some brother. I don't like this narrative, you know. What's going on here, bro? You can't get that kind of power, bro. Like I didn't see you at your R&B event singing with did you see him singing?
karaoke.
Karaoke. But allow it, bro. Allow it, bro. Man was brother. Man was.
It was
Do you know what I
karaoke,
mean, brother? Yeah. Because the mic was here. Man done this before he started performing. I said this brother is
Taser could never be a dictator, bro. Man, you know why?
Nah.
Taser's dictatorship and Taser's crud is kept. When you put them Helen Van Cleef bracelets on, we kept his smoke at 47%. I'm like, man said you put what on? He put that bracelet on Bob and I was like, he can never be a dictator.
Have I done this?
Bro, he was on there with the bracelet like that. I was like, you're bugging. Man had the bracelet.
And if you were doing karaoke, yeah, what song would you sing though?
Me.
No, I'm just saying in general because that song.
I know that song.
Man,
duets-
Ja Rule.
No, for me,
What would I do with
literally,
my
it's,
baby?
I know
Man,
that
do the
verse, innit?
anthems by himself. I saw that video.
no. For me, that's the one song I can say I know word for word.
What song?
What's it? It's funny because it's Biggie after he died. Diddy, Biggie, Nelly.
Oh, big
Nasty Girl.
duets. Nasty Girl,
Nasty
yeah.
Girl.
That's a
That
tune.
one,
You know that song word for word?
Yeah.
What?
It's a tune.
nah.
I love that tune.
Nah, Keith, don't have that.
No. Why that song
Keith,
though?
don't have that.
No,
Not
wait.
Bro,
Wait,
like I
Keith,
said,
are you having that?
James, Marvin, don't do that. You know what I mean? That's a Cinderella over there with his bracelets ain't chatting to me like that. Talking to me like that. You gonna get your nails done, bro. Talk to me. What?
Brother.
Man, Marvin, talk to your boy. Bro.
Talk to your boy.
Talk to your boy. Going back to, you said one of your favorite shows was Dublin.
Yeah.
I always find myself on the weird part of the internet. And there was a riot. Like, I'm talking, we're going back 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years in Ireland. And they had a riot.
10, 50 years.
Bro, wait. I said 10, 20, 30, 40. I counted up.
You're counting up.
That makes sense. That makes way more sense.
Yo, how far back are we getting?
That's a lifespan for certain people.
Which year we getting?
And I stopped at 15.
Oh, okay, cool, my bad.
Just because I forgot what year it was. And basically, they were changing the drink driving rules over there. And so basically, the drink driving limit, got reduced to 12 pints.
12.
And they rioted, bro, because they said it's too low. Bro, the Irish, bro, they had riots.
They party differently out there.
Brother, they
I can't lie, and you see Irish girls,
They
Seriously.
Bro,
different. And they love me as well, and I love them.
It's the first time you whispered, you know.
but you know bro, they rioted because they said 12 pints is too low, bro. Man said I could drink 12 pints and drive home. Like, where?
Man say, I can drink 12 pints and drive home, you know. Fucking,
What are you talking about 12 wines?
It's too low.
That's 12 pints fucking breakfast.
It's too fucking low.
That's something I thought was fucking hilarious, bro. Because you're like, think of it, 12 pints, bro. Like, you can't
I'm
even
done.
see.
I drink. I partake in party, and that's 12 pints. I'm finished.
12, bro. Could you?
I'll probably vomit. Yeah, just to. Yeah.
I don't
Bro,
know,
let's
man.
think about it. Let's think of
I don't even mind even drink pints because like, I've been to the pub before and had a pint and I'm like, brother, why is the thing so large,
it?
bro? No, I've finished it, but it's like it takes a
Yeah,
while.
it's like-
But like it takes a while. I'll have
That
the
12 of
pint.
them
You wouldn't have
It's
like
the
a
yeast.
pint after pint of like,
Bro.
like vodka or apple juice. Yeah.
Man are just
And it's
banging.
flat. It's flat by the time you get halfway through it. And
Man are banging. Yeah, like, no, you don't like when the man says anyone want around it. Man's got half a lager. I want it.
yeah.
You're
I can't
like,
lie. That's the
what
thing. Yeah, if someone goes to get around, it's like, yeah, go on.
And you back it quickly. But I'm like,
Yeah.
brother, you know how much gas is in that? Man, like, brother, what are you drinking,
No, but I
bro?
think if
Could
you're...
you date a girl that drinks pints?
Yeah, that's sexy to me.
Serious?
Sexy, yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
this is gonna come across mad weird, yeah. I'm not gonna clip this, but fuck it, I let him clip it. But you know, like, so I read somewhere that like what a man looks for in his woman is based off of what he sees with his mum and like the relationship that he sees growing up. So maybe that's why my mum's kind of like, I don't want to say boisterous in a way, but she's not very feminine, innit? So when I'm dating girls, I don't really date like feminine girls. I like a girl that I can go play pool with and go to the pub and have a pint and all
that
that.
Makes sense still.
But I feel like
she's burping every couple minutes.
Huh?
She's burping every couple
No,
minutes.
yeah, no. She can nurse her one, innit?
I feel like with beer, beer is one of those things where you either drink beer or you don't.
Yeah.
There's no middle ground.
Yeah, like, I kind of like
No,
it. Like,
you
you
either
either
like
love a
beer-
pint or you don't.
You either like beer or you don't. There's
you
other
like
stuff where
Marmite,
with
man.
liquor, you know what I mean? When you think of hard liquor, with tequila, you might not like tequila, but you could have a tequila.
Yeah,
you might
yeah.
like vodka, but
I feel like no one likes tequila. You just have it
yeah.
to get bursted.
But beer, if you drink, you have to want to drink that shit. You don't, you know what I mean? There's no
No, but
Marvin, fuck it, it was
How many
there
pints did
and
you
I
have
drank
last year?
it.
None.
You said you had one before.
No, I'm talking about, let's say, my life in general.
Oh, okay,
But-
yeah.
For me, I
but-
won't drink
but-
up. I'll drink.
I'll never-
but-
beer
but-
drinkers are
I've
gonna
just
judge
tasted
me.
it.
But I can't have lager by itself. I've got to have lager and lime. So I can't have like lager and
you're
lime.
gonna
Like
get
you
mocked in the
either
pub
put.
for that.
That's
I
what
know.
that's what Marvin was like. Don't say that. He's like,
No,
don't tell them that.
No, I don't mind. I don't drink pints, but
Yeah.
it's either what's it called?
Needs something, innit?
Snake bite is blackcurrant and lager.
Like a Desperado or something as well.
No, as in like blackcurrant juice, as in like Ribena and lager. It's called blackcurrant. Yeah, man, you can have that. Or
Why?
and then there's because if you don't like the taste of lager, it sweetens it. Or there's lime. Is it lime cordial?
Yeah.
And then you put that with lager. That's lager and lime. People do the little slam when they put that. You know, like
the pint off. It's not for you.
You know
That's what I'm
the
saying,
little
bro.
lime when people cut in like a quarter
yeah.
and they put it in a bottle. Rubbish. There's not enough lime.
Drinking Mexican
there's not
beer,
enough,
bro.
There's not enough lime juice in that thing, bro. People put it in a bottleneck.
Well, some people like the beer. That's why.
That's I don't like the taste of beer. You know what I'm saying?
And for me, the only beer I only want to admit this, you know what I mean? Because the beer drinkers are gonna get onto me still Peroni. Because I like
Peroni's decent though.
I like
love a
Peroni,
Peroni,
bro.
innit?
I like a Peroni.
What's your favorite beer? Or you got a favorite?
I like a Heineken, you know. But I'm not really bothered.
Is there a great difference between the taste between like a Heineken, a
Yeah,
Budweiser?
you know what's like? You know, everyone comes up to me and says like, "Oh, like the Stella bar," like, or like, "Someone get me a fucking Stella." Stella's are fucking disgusting, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. It's
Serious?
Not that. It's not that.
Do you want me to cut that or should I leave that?
But also, everyone comes up.
Stella bar, so you might
Everyone
get
comes
Stella.
up to me and says it. It's not my bar. Digger says
serious?
it right at the start of the tune.
Oh,
Stella,
that ain't my shit.
It's getting mad, bro.
Stella's the only
Love you, man.
Stella's the only liquor that's ever given me a hangover. I'm 33 years old. I've only ever had one hangover, and it was Stella.
Where do you drink?
Brother,
hangovers.
I'm looking at my life.
Bro, on my mother's life.
but he's
I'm,
from Zimbabwe,
bro,
though.
33 years old. I've never had a
liver's different over
hangover.
there,
In my outside of that one hangover, and it was Stella. It was after a wedding like 10 years ago. That's 6 Stellas because that was the only liquor there. You know what I mean? Had
No,
6
yeah,
Stellas.
beer is hangover as well because it's all the fizzy and dehydrating you. Innit?
Bro, Friday.
Any night out you have on beers, you're,
but that's
you're
once.
hungover.
I mean,
All right,
once.
so wait, hold on. Festivals, tour. What's life like on tour?
Have you done wireless before?
Yeah.
They're not too keen on it. Yeah, all right, let's move on.
I don't know. I don't know.
Let's move on.
Basically,
because
fuck it. I'll talk about it. Innit? I don't think it's that big of a video. It kind of I just spoke about it anyway, and it's over now. But the wireless I just done, the London one, yeah, the one just gone. There was quite a few American artists on the lineup. I think I was the only UK artist on the main stage, and I was the first one. But because of that, something went wrong with like communication with the team, and then the sound wasn't being communicated properly. And even when it took them a while to set up, I was late on stage, so the fans were pissed off that I was late on stage. And then they come to me and was like, "Oh, can you take 3 or 4 songs off your set because we need to save time for the American artists?" And I'm like, "This is my first time doing wireless main stage, like, not really." And I ain't got that many songs out. You know what I'm saying? If I'm doing like a lot of them is like body and like features, and then I got flowers and that. And we get there and they kept talking in my ear mid set and saying like, again, it's not necessarily anybody's fault per se. But they're like, "Yo, you need to wrap up, you need to tell them thank you." And I still had to bring Tion out. Like Tion was ready to come on stage and do he done, I think, I don't know as well. Ready to bring Tion out, ready to do Hello Mate with Kyla, because obviously she's like the female vocal on that. And yeah, they cut the sound off halfway through, turned all my shit off, turned my mic off halfway through Hello Mate, just halfway through the tune. And I didn't get to say thank you to the crowd. I didn't get to do flowers. I didn't get to wrap up the show how I wanted to. So I left a bad taste in my mouth. But I'm over it now. So.
must be annoying though, because it's like fans don't know.
But it looked like, because I was so frustrated, so eventually I've kind of stormed off the stage and thrown a bit of a tantrum, if I'm honest, innit? Like I've dashed the mic, I've thrown my innards on the floor, like broke my innards. And so yeah, walked off the stage.
Your fans don't know
I'm
what's
frustrated,
happening,
and like even certain times they're talking in my ear, and I'm talking back to them. So they're saying like, I remember it was halfway. I was introducing Hello Mate, and they were like, "No, listen, you need to tell them thank you. You can't introduce this tune." Da, da, da. So I've gone like, oh, bro, shut the fuck up, like into the mic, innit? And I'm like, shut the fuck up, I'm gonna do the tune. But again, the crowd's probably thinking,
Yeah,
what is going on? So, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
But that's what I'm
that's
saying. In
nice
terms of fans, that if you're late as a performer, the fans are going to be like, why is he late?
Yeah.
They're not knowing that it might not be.
I'm backstage, ready
you're
to
ready
go on.
to go. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People always blame, like, for example, even if a promoter, if you got a rave and you're doing something, you might have a problem with the venue. People are not looking at the venue. They're looking at you as a promoter, like, brother, why is this thing late? Do you know what I'm saying? So it's interesting the other way around it. You're just looking at it thinking, oh, yeah, it's mad. That, you're saying
it
that
can
it
be
was an
other
issue
factors.
for you.
And then what you said, just going back to a lighter note, tour life, fucking mental, bro. Mental. It's very, 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 very lit.
Do you know what it is? For me, it seems like, you know, certain people are like built for this life, as in like it's their thing. Like I can see that that's his thing. Still.
Yeah.
The whole
Australia
mental
was a
thing,
mazza.
You
I've
toured
never.
Australia as well?
Yeah.
He's gone about the world. What's going on?
Yeah,
I was
it was mental.
Ain't
Like,
it scary over there though?
huh? No.
Brother, like you just be sleeping and the spider's just there, bro.
No,
See,
but
that's-
that's
or
the
snake.
outback though.
Or
Yeah,
you
do you know how big Australia is?
Nah, that's the outback,
Do you know there's
man.
more kangaroos than people in Australia?
Yeah, in
So
the
man come out the
outback.
yard,
Yeah,
man
but-
come out the yard, there's a kangaroo standing there.
No, but it's not.
Do
You know the
it's not really-
population. You see like the size of the continent Australia compared to the UK.
It's massive, yeah,
You know
yeah.
we've got like 10 times the population of the continent.
But
The
they
UK
got,
itself.
They got the land size.
Yeah,
It's
they're
a lot
like
bigger.
the mass of their land, but compared to their population, is next to none, isn't it? But yeah, and that, like you're saying, that's outback. I didn't even see no mad animals out there.
No
But you see just the way,
kangaroos?
no, man. But you see the way the girls behave over there, bro. It's like, you know, like when like you get like a wild UK girl, it's like that, but just on steroids, bro.
Serious.
Mental,
Any of them say good day to you?
Huh? You're gonna good night? Nah. They say fucking A.
Fucking A.
Fucking A, cunt. Yeah.
Just putting bare words together. Fucking A, cat.
Yeah.
Hey.
I would go to Australia, but it's just the flight is a killer, bro.
It was awful, but awful. And you get mad greasy and that on the plane. You just want to wash and brush your teeth
It
and all that.
stink. You
shit.
must stink on that plane. There's no way you get off that.
It's mad.
But there's no way you're on that flight you don't stink,
It's like a 30-hour trip.
bro. There's no way you don't stink.
But like you go, so I was going from city to city. Each city we went to had a different time zone.
Serious.
So yeah, just
Oh, that's how big it is.
that's how big
Yeah, it's
Australia
big,
is.
man.
Like some of them had like 4 or 5 hour time differences.
In Australia.
Bruv, Australia's not
It's
small,
not a joke,
you know.
It's huge,
big, bro.
You
And the population
we
is
we went
small.
to Sydney.
Yeah.
It was 8 degrees. We moved to Brisbane. It was 26.
Bruv, it's big, bro.
That's mad.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite country so far? Is in like, or no, your favorite 3 countries or cities to tour? As in you've been there and you'll be like, this is a madness. I need to come here again.
Yeah. Australia was lit. Nigeria was fucking sick. I didn't get to
Come
spend enough
on.
time there in it, but
That's it,
Nigeria
come
was
on.
sick. And
Sam, tell him, man. Come on.
and I'd be lying if I didn't include it in it. So I'll have to slap Ibiza. in there
Adiola, you
because
know,
it's my
they
second
went
home.
mad.
Serious.
Yeah.
Ibiza makes sense though, because
Yeah.
Ibiza's just like,
Do you know what it was with Nigeria? So Black Sheriff brought me out there. Obviously, we done the Come and Go remix together. And for one, I was just getting mad love out there. Even when we're getting in cars, I was on the radio every 10 minutes.
Bruv, you said
different-
Adiola.
Different tunes. Yeah. But I was getting mad love out there. And if someone had said to me before I blown, like, that
Nigeria.
was one of the first places I'm going to be touring, I'd be like, yeah, like, you're mad, me getting to travel all that way around the world. And then when I done the show, the vibe, you see when you do shows, especially closer to London, the closer you get, the more like phones are out and less people are actually enjoying themselves. And like, apart from when I told them to put their flashlights out, everyone was just actually enjoying the show and vibing and singing along and dancing and whatever. So yeah, it was just sick in it.
they got to save their batteries, bruv.
Bruv, you know.
Man said data over there, Marvin. Data is different over there.
thing is,
They
yeah,
ain't no electricity over there, blood.
something,
The
yeah,
electricity's over there.
I
They
thought,
might-
you know what? Let me
they say-
respect my people, but you said it, bro. You said it.
They go save my battery, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's only ID. It's only ID.
And I
It's
feel
only
like
ID.
the further you move away from London with a lot of things, I feel like it just gets a bit more
Yeah,
enjoyable.
so the
it's
shows-
crazy to say.
The
yeah.
shows up north that I go to, like when I started, I done a show in Newcastle, yeah, when I was in my first year. And basically, we had a tour booked for me before I done Body, so we were doing like uni shows and we were doing small clubs. Then Body come, so the caliber of artist I was for the venues I was doing
was a
didn't make
madness.
any
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
sense
yeah.
in it. So everywhere we went, we kept warning them, and then we done this Newcastle one, and they had a barrier that weren't even screwed into the ground, and the stage is near enough floor level with the people. And this is when Flowers had been previewed. I'd done a promo video of it. They knew all the words before the song was even out, just off the TikTok, innit? But we said to them beforehand, it's like, yo, that barrier and that one security guard you got there is not going to be enough. And they're like, no, we've had XY, Tom, Dick and Harry here, and like they've had
There's
mad
been no
shows, and
problems,
it's been
yeah.
fine, and da-da-da-da. And yeah, by about 3 songs in, my big brother who was sat there, management, Carl, Jay, all of them. I had to run down, help the security. I had to stop the show 4 times. One girl went so blue in the face trying to get to the front, yeah. And the security guy was like headlocking her, like genuinely thought she was gonna pass out. So I was like, yo, I've stopped it, I've cut it. I've like kind of pushed them back a bit, sorted it out. And she's cool now. And she's like, I'm like, you cool? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. Started the tune again. She just ran straight back to the front and just started getting chokeholded again. Like it was, yeah.
Do you know
the further up north you go, the nuttier they are. Like it's wild.
Do you know what's sick? There's 2 things I wanted to say. Like, so for example, Nigeria. Nigeria is one of the closest places to the UK, and that sounds mad, but they love the UK over there.
Yeah.
Like they know about every UK artist they know about in Nigeria, whatever. But that's something else. But also,
Yo, can you turn this off, please?
Off. What is it? Hot or cold?
Nah, it's just blowing it on me.
On you.
so like for example, so what you said happened to Gorilla in the UK, the US artist Gorilla.
Yeah.
Who's that?
That
Glorilla, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Gorilla still.
There's a whole L of the G
Sir,
thing.
man, sir. Glorilla, yeah. That she had shows booked before she blew. So when she blew, they said we're not doing these shows no more.
Yeah.
So a lot of the people, in the venues like this ain't fair because we've signed a
Yeah,
contract.
you'll get a bad name for
Oh,
that
so
as
that's
well.
not Ice Spice.
No, that was hers. Gorilla.
Ice Spice had the same situation where promoters were complaining where she cancelled the shows.
But it was Glorilla. It was her, yeah.
Yeah.
But they was her management were like, boy, number one, her fee's gone up, and number two, these
Nah, I
ain't the
think you should still honour
venues.
the
Nah, you got
bookings, man.
on it because
Cool.
they so like especially with me like I got all them bookings off the back of Craig believing in me, my booking agent Craig, who was like one of the biggest in the game, like anyway. But he believed in me from early, so he was like working off the back of his other artists. He had like
The strength of them and that,
DB
yeah.
for example. He had like different people under his roster. It's like yo, if you want to book them, then you need to book. And he lined up shows for me like that. So then they've taken that chance of risking booking me and I'm still getting paid. So they're giving me money, not knowing how big I'm gonna get.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you said, you just kind of honour the booking. Like yo, you lot took me.
Because I
in
find
for
it
the-
interesting because like she was on the vibe of, you can look at it 2 ways, innit? But you're worth more now,
Yeah.
so take the money, not while you can, but it's there, or honour it. It
No,
just
but you can still do shows.
You just have to honor I personally believe you have to honor those commitments.
Yeah,
because,
100%.
again,
They're the ones that believe.
those
They're like
people-
your OGs, isn't it?
Because when those people booked you, they booked you before you were XYZ. So you can't do all of that. So have you heard 50 when he talks about his situation with Master P? So
Yeah, I heard about
that
this. You
was
know,
fucking funny. So Master P's booked 50 for some shows.
4
This is-
shows, isn't it?
Yeah, no, he booked him for 8 shows. So 50 is like, he booked him
But
for
he
8
did-
shows. He did
yeah.
4. And he's like, 50
Postponed.
was like, he's done 4 of them. And he's like, through doing 4 of them, Master P's like, something's happened or whatever. We have to postpone the other ones. And 50 was like, by the time we've done the next 4 shows, I've sold 2 million records.
Yeah, he's
at this
like
point.
triple platinum artist, but still had
But he's
these-
got him from the previous contract, essentially. But it's crazy because with Master P, I think with
Oh,
his
did he
little
still
back
do it?
and forth.
Yeah, he honoured it. Yeah,
had
yeah,
to.
he's still
yeah,
done
he
it,
did
yeah.
it. He's done it because 50's like, that's just how he does business. There's, I think the one thing that's happening with Master P at the moment is, so you see after his little situation with
His son.
Romeo, I think a lot of stuff is coming out, and you have to kind of realize that a lot of these men at the top are skullduggerous.
Yeah.
You don't get to that level on just, hey, I'm doing cool
They say
stuff.
most like millionaires or
Billionaires, and when you're at that level.
yeah, rich bosses and all of that. Most of them are sociopaths, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's that by
You
some
know
kind of
Fat
study,
Trell.
innit?
You might know Fat Trell because I know you listen to different types of music. There's a rapper called Fat Trell and a US guy. And he was talking about, so basically when he was much younger, Master P's phoned him up and he was like, he's just bought the rights or he's buying the rights to Menace to Society 2.
Yeah.
And he wants them in the movie. So he's brought them down to LA, essentially where he was working at the time, and there was another artist, so they didn't know each other at the time. So he's brought them together, and he's like, "Hey, I want you to be in the movie." So it's like we say, "Hey, ArrDee, I'm working on this movie. Come and be in the movie." So
Yeah.
cool, you've come down or whatever. 9 months in, 10 months in, you're like, "Bro, I've been here this whole time. We ain't seen not one movie script,
yeah.
whatever." But one thing we've been doing is we've been in the studio. Just recording music. So they've just been, and he was just knocking out music, and they were knocking out music. Master P's got them in the studio doing video shoots, doing photo shoots, doing all kinds of stuff. So they was like, okay, but they were just going with it because Master P's giving them a monthly amount of money, essentially. So he was doing that. And I think he's like, where it's just kind of gone left and where he was like, it was the final straw for them because he was like, there was some funny stuff that they saw. It was like, this is iTunes time, so this is before streaming.
Yeah.
So he's like, one of his homies, like his boy, who was his video director / manager, was like, my man's put the album out on iTunes. So the album's been whatever.
Oh, so like he's caking off the album. as
Yeah,
well.
and he was like, we got nothing. of the album. So it's like this man's been selling this music this whole time, and he brought us down here.
selling
under
you
the
man a dream.
Yeah, he's like, you're gonna be in a movie. It was like the whole time we were there, not one script, and man had us pumping out music, and he's like, till this day, we've not made a penny from
You
any
got
of
to
that
slap
music.
yourself for that though. If you're there for that long and not getting
No, he
script,
was
you
young.
should've fucking ask some questions.
No,
innit?
but the thing is, bro, he was
Like-
young. The guy was like, he was young. So like, he was young, and
How old is young, bro? 12, bro. Brother, you're there for 10 months. Ask a question, bro.
But
Where's the
yeah,
camera,
but
bro?
no, but for this
Where's the camera?
one, think about it, bro.
Where's
You
the camera?
come,
I ain't seen one.
bro.
I ain't seen one.
No, the guy.
Yeah.
No. But the way he speaks of
What is
Master
that
P.
called?
Clipper, something called a Clipper or something like that.
Who? Oh, the Clipper.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but he spoke of Master P. So you know somebody that had mad respect.
In
for
awe of
Master
him,
P.
basically.
It's Master P.
Yeah,
It's
I
kind of
hear
like
it.
being like around Baby.
I
You
don't
know
know.
what I
I'd
mean?
get over
Dre.
that. I'd get over
So I
that.
think that's what it was for him. He was like, at the
10
time,
months
it's
in.
Master P. They're around Master P, and you know all of these things are happening, and it just turned out to be
I was gonna ask you a question.
a poor situation.
So you see how you felt with Tion, yeah?
Mm.
In regards to like when you first met him, you was kind of like rosy-eyed. I'm saying that because it's Tion.
It's a weird way to phrase it.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, no, but like,
Man said, hey, yo, bro, man.
I'm trying to figure out how
I had
to.
respect for man.
No.
I rate him,
I'm trying
man.
to
Rosy
Your heart,
eyed, bro.
rosy eyed is.
What's the
I
word
thought
I'm
a love heart
looking
emoji straight away.
for? What's the word I'm looking for?
Like a little bit like starstruck.
Okay, starstruck. There we go. There
Yeah.
we go. Excuse me, starstruck.
Yeah.
How did it feel with everybody else?
Do you know what was it is as well? Even with the Tion thing, I was starstruck right at the very beginning. But even now, I got over that bad quick, and I've never had it around anybody else except when I see Mason Mount and the Elise, and I was losing my mind in it. Because obviously, like,
You said
I feel-
Elise, Crystal Palace, Elise.
Elise, it's like a rooftop bar.
Oh, I thought you said Mason Mount and Elise. Like,
No.
That's what I thought you said as well.
Okay,
No. It was in a restaurant called the Elise. innit?
Okay.
But yeah, I feel like because it's in my realm, even like with Bucks, like American artists and things like that, because it's in my realm and that's my world, it's what I do. I kind of know how they got there, and I know I'm gonna get to the level of the people that are above me and further one day. It's like because it's fathomable. Whereas like so like football, for example, I sit at home, I watch football on the TV. It's not
It's
in
not
my
your
world.
world. I
It's
know what you
almost,
mean. Yeah.
So when I see that, I see Mason and then I was like, with my brother again, I'm like, yo, like, mine was over. He's like, just go over and ask for a photo. And I'm like, oh, I'm a big fan. And he's like, yeah, I'm a big fan. And I'm like, rah. And even like, I put my ultimate team once on my Instagram story, and I had bare legends in there. I had like Beckham in there, Gary Lineker, and I got quite a few of them. Rio Ferdinand swiped up to the DM, and he was like, what? I don't make the cut. Like, why am I not on the team? And that, and I was gas.
It's true though.
Gas.
Who was your defense? Who was your team?
I can't even remember, I can't remember off the top of my head.
That is sick, man.
But yeah, that's the only other time.
Yeah, I think that's why it's such a big deal with like Chunks and Harry and Philly and that. Like these men are with footballers that are like greats, bro. Just casually.
Yeah, but that's even like Vuj.
Yeah, Vuj and Poet. Yeah.
Brother, Vuj. Sometimes looking at pictures, I'm like, brother, is there anyone you ain't met? Like Pele died the
No,
other day,
but-
man, a picture of Pele. I'm like,
Yo.
brother, like how many, bro? Vuj, brother, I swear to you, Vuj is met.
Hey,
Like,
you know.
Like I'll
Hey.
go on Vuj's story. Vuj is in Serbia at the World Cup playoff.
No, I know.
I'm like, brother,
Yeah.
how are you there?
No, but you see Vuj- no, but you see
he's in,
Vuj, yeah.
he's in
No, but you see
Qatar
Vuj.
at the final.
Yeah, but you see Vuj. He will catch a 48-hour train. He's them kind of man.
I hear you, so.
And he'll do it in brief. Like if he has to, if you told Vuj, listen, you can go to the World Cup, yeah, but you might have to swim. You'd be like, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Catch the train, 48 hours.
Just a one-man
cool.
vibe.
Like he'll just do it on his ones. Like he's just that guy. He's so cool, man. Mad cool, bro.
And I feel like, because I'm not into football, I used to have situations where, so on, Instagram, Twitter, or whatever, I'd have footballers, following me and stuff like that, and I'd have no idea. So I think one time I've gone there, this is years ago, so I think Ross something.
Ross Bartley.
That's the one. But at the time, so when I go through the thing, so I have to go through somebody else to figure out who it is. So sometimes people like, oh, you're starstruck by this or you're around this person. I was like, what would save me is like, I have no idea who that is.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like,
no,
it's-
I've had that a couple times.
You're
to be
like,
fair.
I want to be gassed. I do, but I have no fucking idea who that is or why I should be gassed.
Why do you think the man then was weirded out when Lukaku just walked backstage at 3 shots?
I had no idea who
Yeah,
that
but
was
I'm saying,
until.
like,
So
think
for me,
about
bro, Lukaku's there at our show. You know what I mean? Everyone's, for me, I was thinking, who the fuck is that? Not in a bad way, but I was like, because I don't watch football, I have no idea who
Do you
that
know
is.
it's mad sometimes though? Because when you see someone that you see on TV and you've known for years, like when you see a man, brother, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it's like you have to keep composed, but you're like, Shit, that's the cocky.
Bro, that's what I told you when we saw.
Man said, yo.
When we saw,
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's like a weird one because it's like
When I see Matt, when I was like jumping up and down fanning,
Brother.
I kept my composure, but it's like
inside.
it's my man.
It's
Yeah.
like you got to coach yourself. It's like you're like something you hear stay calm, bro.
But
Stay
remember,
calm,
I've
stay calm,
I've
like,
told the
do you know
story
what I'm
on the pod before. One of my boys, he's an Arsenal fan, Miles, on Filthy Fellas.
saying? That story's ridiculous.
Bro, we saw an Arsenal defender and he lost his knees, bro.
No, who was it?
Colo Toure.
Man saw Colo Torre and lost his mind. I rate Arsenal, but that's not someone I'm losing my mind for, bro. I'm saying Colo, I rate the thing, you know. Henri,
Bro, that's why I was a bit confused.
Bergkamp,
But the way you
Perez.
described it,
No,
Ted, you
but
said
Colo
man lost his
Torre.
wig.
Bro, I'm telling you,
You're a liar,
that's
bro.
why he doesn't like me telling the story. Because
Possible.
now that he looks back at it, he's reflecting.
Colo Torre.
Exactly. That's his reaction. But that's not my fault. I saw what I saw, bro.
No offense, Colo. No offense.
Yeah, no offense, come on, man. But I saw what I saw, bro.
Speaking of,
That's that guy mad about Gilberto
Bro,
Silva,
I don't know. I'm not comparing. I'm just saying I saw what I saw.
you know, we were talking about talent and
Pascal
busing.
Segan, bro.
You know, when you talk about talent, busing, and getting to, you know, what I mean, top level of, you know, what I mean, what you do essentially.
No, I'll rate you.
I was talking to one of my business partners. His son plays football, so he does a lot of their training and stuff. So his son is a goalkeeper. So he does academies, different things, and so on and so on. And he was like, so when he realized that that's one of the think about it. How many teams are in the Prem, like in the competition?
20.
Is how many? Was it?
20 teams in the Prem, yeah?
Isn't it 12 or less? I don't know. I don't know football. I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend. How many teams is it?
Why are
I'm
you
asking,
getting
and
on
I'm
to me?
telling you
I'm
'cause
saying 12.
how many teams in the competition?
Is it 20, yeah? No, it's not 12. I'm saying how many's in the league? I can't remember.
How many teams?
Yeah.
20.
No problem, bro.
No,
So
you're looking at me
basically,
like
No, you look at him like he was meant to.
No, because I was thinking 20. I was thinking 20 or 19. I couldn't remember.
Why would it be 19?
Brother, why wouldn't it be?
Oh, brother, continue.
So
bro.
basically, the way it
Yeah,
is. So
man, I was like, why wouldn't it be,
when
bro?
you think of the
It's
most
not-
competitive position to get in the league,
Yeah,
what would
yeah.
it be?
So what? It's to be fair,
every
goalkeeper.
team is looking for.
But
one
do
goalie.
you know how hard that position is?
Yep, and they were
that's
like,
what you're saying.
it's so difficult. So
No,
think
not to
about
get in, as to be a
Yeah,
goalkeeper.
it's hard enough to be a goalkeeper and it's hard to get. So think about it. Think of
pressure
all
as
the
well.
kids, all the
Pressure,
people that
bro.
are working, in the Prem. You're all gunning for
a good goalkeeper.
20 teams. You know what I mean? You're all gunning to be in, the goalkeeper for 20 teams. And I think I heard there's especially like
mean about-
English players.
you
I
have
think it's
about-
like 3 or 4.
In terms
There are
of the keeper, you have about in every team you have maybe about 3 or 4.
No, I'm talking about they're talking about Prem. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the starting goalkeeper in the in the Prem.
Or in a
Like
good
there's
team.
like 3. There's like I think they were like in the league. They're like 3 UK or British.
No,
essentially.
for England you get like you have 3, 4 keepers.
No, how many
No,
teams in the
I'm
Prem
talking
have
about-
an English
Have a
goalkeeper?
British goalkeeper.
English,
up
English,
teams
yeah,
as
English,
well.
yeah.
So when you think of the 20, like starting goalkeeper, how many of them are? So you're like, so all of those people that are competing, you're competing for, you know what I mean? Maybe let's say 5
Do you know it's
positions.
because it's
max.
because goalkeeping's changed. But a long time ago, it's kind of like right backs. All we had to do as a goalkeeper was to save. That's all you had to do. Just be a shot stopper. Cool. Then the game progressed where now keepers have to be able to play football. You got to carry the ball. If a defender passes you the ball, you got to be comfortable enough under pressure to pass it to the right back, receive it back. A lot of keepers weren't good with their feet. Do you know what I'm saying? Like whereas the goalkeepers on the continent, Spain, Italy, them man could play with their feet as goalkeepers. So now it's changed where like England keepers like
How's the
what's his
thing?
name? Ramsdale's decent with his
Oh
feet.
yeah. How's thing developed? The right back.
The right back was just a case of the right back I think was developed by like people like Gary Neville, because he used to overlap Beckham and then whip it in. You're an extension to the midfield now, whereas before right backs were just more.
Oh
Just
yeah,
to-
and that's how you
just
got to
to-
be fast. So you got to be able to track
Yeah,
back.
it was just a straight back. Remember back in the day it was 4-4-2. That was the only position. Formation people played 4-4-2. That's why a number 4 was his position, number 8. Whereas now, for example, like a number 10
I think it was
might
Ajax.
not be behind the keeper.
Yeah.
Striker. He could be an actual striker. Number 4 might not actually be a DM. He could just be. Everything's changed now. More people play like 3-4-3 now, or people change positions now. So the right back
Even
now
Arsenal
has
now,
to
you got to play 4-1-4-1.
something like that.
And the only reason I have an affinity...
4-2.
One party.
Nah, it's Shaka and Party.
Yeah, but the way you play when you're moving forward, Shaka goes forward.
Yeah, he's box to box, but yeah.
I was going to say, the only reason I guess I have an affinity to, I'd say goalkeepers or whatever is being that I was Zimbabwean. Remember Bruce Grubbler?
Grubbler,
So when I was growing up, think about it. If you don't watch something,
I remember him.
the number one thing that
You
pops
see the
up to
thing
you.
with
It's
his
whoever's
legs,
doing it. And Bruce Grobbler, bro, was big. And Zimbabwe, like, there's not many, you know what I mean, footballers coming out of Zimbabwe. You know, Benjamin Wairaru and a few people. But it was literally like Bruce Grobbler, essentially, at the time. And I was young at the time.
But you know what's mad about keepers, yeah, is you think about the game, yeah, and if everyone in the room's played football before, when you're running during the football game, you warm up. Keepers are just on that same spot for the 90 minutes. Like, imagine if you're a team that
And
dominates
you
the
have
game.
your awareness has to be on 100%
Brother, it's
the
got to be
whole
like, you can't
time.
switch. You know, like,
Because games can be won and lost because of your keeper.
a keeper
100%.
can't be like, you know, I wonder what I'm doing. Brother, man, just bang the ball past you. Shit. You got to be like, and if it's a cold day in Britain, like a cold match, you're just there chilling.
Bones freezing.
And then when you're called upon, you got to dive. But then not for the rest of the game, you're just. But it must be long being a keeper, bro. Think about it. Because right back, remember, everyone else is always running. The keeper, when you're called
Especially if
upon,
you play for a good team.
and even as a striker or midfielder, yeah, you can make a mistake. The ball runs under your foot. You can kind of run back and get it. As a keeper, that one mistake is a goal, bro.
Bro, think of the World Cup now. It was won or lost because of the goalkeepers, essentially at the end. Because you're like,
Martinez,
when it comes to them penalties, the goalkeeper, everyone's looking at him like, this is on you.
Even the save that Martinez made just before when I can't remember what French brother took a shot and he saved it. It went out the other end and Martinez missed. But yeah,
I was gonna say, speaking of football, what team do you support?
Chelsea.
boo, man,
The
boo,
fucking Chelsea.
man.
I mean, I can't even say up the fucking. In fact, I actually want another drink after even saying the fact I support them at the moment because it's mad. But I feel like we'll get there.
What do you think is going on though? Like, man's made 72 signings, bro.
Yeah,
You're
I think the
dumb.
owners. I think we need to look at what our owners' plan is. I think we need to invest in our fucking medical team because our entire starting 11's injured. So I think it's all over the gap. I mean, we made some good signings, we made some bad signings as well. I couldn't tell you, like, I'm not a football. I'm not like one of the punters or whatever. I'm not a football analyst, but
I just feel like Chelsea's issue is you haven't got a plan.
that's what I mean. I think we need a whole like reconstruction of the club from the top to the bottom. I need like the owners and everything.
But I think the problem is when Abramovich left,
Yeah.
because of Russia, Ukraine, he
Yeah.
left so abruptly, yeah, that you had to kind of get someone in.
we didn't need to get rid of Tuchel either, but obviously.
Yeah, that was madness.
So
to
they
me.
was annoyed that we didn't put in an offer for Ronaldo, but it didn't make sense. Like, so they wanted Ronaldo. And obviously, it would have been big for like the merchandise for the club, and
Ronaldo
wouldn't have gone anywhere.
Chelsea.
But yeah, because the owners never liked him anyway, and then that was like their final straw for them.
Because
What I've heard anyway.
When I looked at his stats, like most of the games for you, he won, and I think he had control of your squad in it. But the moment he's gone, I feel like what's happened with Newcastle, with Chelsea now is I can see what you're doing now. You're trying to build young. You've kind of looked at the models around you, like maybe Dortmund, Arsenal, like, and a couple other teams.
But also, Potter's come from Brighton, and then just tried to sign the whole of Brighton straight away. And then, so yeah, I get mad stick for that. It's like, yeah, you lot to come manager, now you're just taking all our players, all the men get onto me about it at the pub.
That's funny.
I get mad stick for being a Chelsea fan. Anyway, I went to a game. I went with my brethren, but the North Stand in the Brighton Stadium is like the proper die-hard Brighton. Like, that's their stand. You know what I'm saying?
But they saw you.
Yeah, we went, and we're Chelsea boys, but I went 2 more Chelsea boys and 1 Brighton fan. We got spanked. I think it was like either 3-0 or 3-1 or something like that. But we was walking. It was like 5 minutes in. I got in there a bit late to like not get mobbed and all of that. And the only Brighton boy that I'm with was like, yo, watch 3 goals before the first half. And I'm like, I'll give you 10 grand if you. And as I'm going to finish the sentence, whole stadium's erupting. Before we even got in there, I'm like, it's gonna be a long day. But yeah,
I think next season you're gonna be a problem next season. But I feel like you just in the
I'm
summer
over.
you just got to get rid of bare man because I feel like your team you got that old man in there mixed with the youth. But I don't feel like there's certain things missing in your team.
Structure to it. Yeah. I don't see the plan. But yeah, even that, I nearly got banned from the Amex Stadium because technically you're not allowed to be like an away fan in the home team's thing anymore. It's like a new rule, isn't it? You can't be a Chelsea fan in a Brighton stand, or you can't be.
It makes sense.
If you get caught, it ain't like back in the day, innit? If you get caught doing it and you like intentionally have come and you're because obviously like I'm filming myself and I'm putting it on my Insta story. I'm like, come on, Chelsea boy in the Brighton stand and that. And yeah, like it went all kind of like bright and viral in like fucking local news and Twitter.
Like igniting, you know what I'm saying?
No, but I get it if you go into the stand and then you're like trying to cause problems. But if we're just chilling and you're minding your own business.
Nah, the way you football people
posting
are
on
Marvin.
No, but you're
The
posting
way you
like,
football people are Marvin.
No, my man said I'm a Chelsea boy in the Brighton stand.
But that was the caption, Chelsea boy in the Brighton
Bro,
stand.
the way you
What more
football
do you
people
need,
are
bro?
Marvin. I know someone's outside
That could be
waiting for
a
you.
Well,
tune,
I
though.
went to it, yeah.
That could be a tune. That could be a tune still.
I don't even know if you remember the game, but the Chelsea West Ham game, you know, where we robbed one goal off them. Right at the end, it was meant to be 2-2, and the goal got disallowed. And it absolutely should not have got disallowed, didn't it?
Recent thing.
Ish, yeah. Towards the end of last year, I think it would have been like maybe August, September time, innit? Around then. But either ways, yeah, I was in there, and bro, like the whole, the stewards are the people that work there, meant to be like security, but they were like young boys and like little and that. They're like, "Oh, you need to leave." Like, made me leave. 85th minutes, I need to get the fuck out of here because I'm proper winding up the West Ham, and half of them are like saying, like, "ArrDee shit, ArrDee's fucking shit." Like, bro, and like the chant spread. So by the time it's the end of the game, and obviously they're doing like "sit down, shut up," and you're not laughing anymore and all that shit. So like we're doing chants back and forth at each other, and then they've done that second goal to equalise. It's meant to be a draw now. And they're like, their whole thing's erupted, and it just for everyone must have been pointing at me at this point because by then everyone's kind of seen me like I'm kind of feeding into it, and then and then the goals got disallowed. VAR come, bro, and
you're busted up.
I've erupted, after bellowing. They must have hurt. But yeah, it gets mad. It gets mad with the football.
But I don't.
That's off. Is that
But also,
before?
I hate
That
being in the
before
boxes
after
as
my
well.
man kicked the cat.
I'm serious.
Yeah, I hate it.
Is it boring?
Yeah, like I don't know. It's just not. It's not the same vibe. It depends on what game it is as well, obviously. But if it's one of them exciting games, like that Chelsea West Ham game, if I wasn't in the seats I was in, I wouldn't have had anywhere near as much fun.
The funny thing is, I was saying it to our brethren on Sunday that the Arsenal Man United game, if you were at the
Brother, it
Emirates
would've been
Stadium,
mad.
bro, when Eddie scored the winner,
Yeah.
brother, I was in a pub in Stratford, brother, I jumped over the banister, bro. I'm going mad,
Yeah.
because it's like Anton, Matthew, Richard, United fans, me and Dixon, Arsenal fans, innit? So as we're there chilling, like I've just erupted, but it's the VAR thing is just it's stopped to VAR. So every Arsenal fan has stopped now. Every Man United fan is like hoping that VAR rules it off. Then when you saw the green line, brother, they
You know,
took my
so
ankle, bro.
my mum does psychology as well, yeah. And she's got a theory of why there's so much like violence and all that around football, and it's something to do with like it's a 90-minute game, yeah. And so for when they're in the middle, most of the time the ball's in the middle and being played around, yeah. When it's either side are attacking, the endorphins or whatever, all the chemicals released in your brain going so up and down so rapidly. So like you're bored, then you're excited, then like, you're pissed, and so by the end of it, your brain is just
You're
rattled.
knackered, bro. You're knackered.
It's not natural to have that kind of emotion so up and down, innit? And that's why people just go scatty. And
Have you watched a game before and you're knackered? You ain't even played, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you watch a game, that game, I was knackered at the end of the game, bro.
Like I said, yeah. So in the beginning, my brother's an Arsenal fan, innit? So beginning of the day, I'm taunting him, and he's just not buying into it. I'm like, brother, like your team's playing today, and it's one of them big games, innit? So because he's not playing into it, I've kind of toned down, like whatever. They got to about I think 3 o'clock. I'm like, no, man. But I remember I like Arsenal now, innit? I'm like, no, let's put £100 Arsenal. You man stop gassing. I put it in the group. These men are like, right, okay, wait. Do you know what? Yeah, like Arsenal are gonna win. Then my brother's hearing me say £100, and he's like, you know what? My brother. Yeah, fuck Rashford, man. He got this, man. I'm like, yeah. This guy had his chain on, Rashford on the rings. He's ready. Cool. Kick off. Watching the game now.
Rashford slapped
Saka.
in that goal.
No, wait.
Fuming. Man, done party. Bang. I said, Jesus.
Which goal would you say is better?
I just said, no, the league's over. When I saw that, I said, allow
Yeah,
me.
it was like a moment. But what goal was better, Rashford or Saka?
Saka's goal was harder. Like Rashford's goal was bad because he done party, and the way he, what do they call it, a knuckle, the knuckle, he shot like a knuckle shot kind of, bang, so it went in. But Saka's one, he cut in. Basically, Rashford's one was a half chance. Saka's wasn't even a half chance because the way he cut in, you're not thinking he's gonna score from that.
it was
no
mad.
one saw that.
When I saw that, yeah.
I was like, and he done it like 10 minutes after, but he hit the post.
Yeah.
You're like, nah, Saka's
He's
cold,
warming.
bro.
And I
He's
feel like
warming.
football, you know why it's confusing for the rest of us? I feel like all your footballers, need names that, they all need different names. It was only recently that I found out that Saka and Wan-Bissaka are two different people, bro. I was sitting there thinking, so it's not the same person then.
Nah, it's not the same spelling.
And bro, Saka and Saka, brother. Like that's all I heard. When people were speaking in conversation, all I hear is Saka. So like I didn't hear the Wan-Bissaka before. All I heard was Saka
Brother,
here,
you sound
Saka
like a
there. Like
substitute-
my nigga, it's confusing.
You sound like a substitute teacher. You know them ones that come to the class. And, are they Tommy? Tommy.
Bro.
Have you seen your the statistics, like the comparison of the season you've had, Arsenal, compared to
last season?
No, compared to your untouchable season. Like,
yeah.
Mad similar stats, isn't it?
And also even the
Like
points,
the best you've been in years.
The points is, but remember back in them days, you could win the league on like
52.
82.
Brother, I watched some documentaries,
back in the day, you could
The
win the
league was
league on
won on
like
43, blood.
Brother, back in the day, you could win the league on like 80 points clear.
Yeah.
The league's done. Like
Bro.
80 points, the next
you're
person
nuts.
next to you is like 10 points thingy. Man City are putting up 100-point seasons.
It's nuts.
Brother, I
It's
felt sorry for
nuts.
Liverpool. The funny thing is, as an Arsenal fan now, and I'm seeing how Liverpool were last season, but I'm sorry, man. Sorry.
Do you get
I'm
it
sorry,
now?
I'm sorry.
Do you get it?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, wait, before you
Liverpool
continue.
fan, yeah, bro, you man
Okay,
lost
cool.
one game,
Bro.
yeah. You got 99 points, brother. That's got to be enough to win the league. Bro,
Yes.
City got 101 points, 100 points, and they lost more. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I understand. I
And
understand,
also,
man. I understand,
wait,
man.
hold on. And also,
I understand.
do you understand my feeling as in the run when we're just beating everyone? Now you get it.
Yeah.
That's how I feel now because I've been there. I was
Brother,
there. Look, I was there the other day.
Yeah, all my brothers that support Arsenal are walking have at least 2 more inches onto the eye everywhere.
Bro.
But you know, as an Arsenal fan, I am humbled. I'm like, do you know what? Until it happens,
But you know why you're humble
I'm
though?
not even thinking. No, because because Arsenal have been in positions
Yeah,
where
that's why.
they could win. Like when Leicester won the league that year, we should have won it. Do you know what I'm saying? But for some
Like
reason,
I was saying to you earlier, like I'm a Chelsea boy and I'm not an Arsenal fan, but the run you've had this season and just it's made me fall back in love a little bit more with because the Premier League is just like it's City and Liverpool, innit? Like,
do you know what? It's the underdog.
time.
It's the underdog. I feel like when Leicester
Yeah.
won the league, it added something to the league. Like
Yeah.
everyone's like, oh shit,
It's
it's
exciting
possible.
again.
Like, you're watching Leicester
Do you know
games,
what I'm
bro.
saying?
Yeah.
But the only problem with football that I find now that I don't like is clubs are becoming feeder clubs now. Like football, like back in the day, every team had its superstars. So, for example, you might have had the Norwich with a superstar. Obviously, United had the superstars. Liverpool, every team had like players that would play for England or were their superstar. Whereas now, any team that shows promise, their superstars are getting bought by another team.
Yeah, straight.
See what I'm
Got it
saying?
straight away,
so
yeah.
like,
Straight.
my man, is it Casidio or something like that?
There's not a lot like
Yeah.
less loyalty on that.
Chelsea are gonna they want to
Money.
buy him. Man United want to buy him. Like Bellingham at Dortmund, he's gonna go. Like
But to be fair,
every team that's got a good player, eventually like a Real. It's not even just. Remember back in the day, it was Real, United.
But also back in the day, you
Barcelona.
get mad stick for it as well. Like you're a proper traitor. Like everyone will
Yeah,
cuss
yeah, they're on
cuss
you.
it out. differently.
Figo's still getting this today. What, brother? They didn't like that one. That was.
No, but that's different though. That's like Arsenal Tottenham.
Yeah, that's not.
I'm just saying.
That's when Sol Campbell went. Brother, when I saw the Sol Campbell transfer, I couldn't believe my eyes. I said, "What? Sol Campbell the free transfer from Tottenham?" But if Tottenham fans hate Sol Campbell to today, bro, like I hate Van Persie.
Yeah, I feel like everyone
I
hates
feel
Van
like
Persie.
I hate
Everyone hated Van
but
Persie when he done
I
that.
don't really hate many footballers, but Van Persie, you.
feel like-
That's like one of the earliest I remember was of like he's a fucking
it was
snake.
scummy, bro.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
he
it
went
was
United,
scummy. Yeah, that was scummy.
All you
Okay,
football
and
fans
just
hold
done
grudges.
shit as well. Just,
So do you
and he
reckon?
won the league in the first year, though. I
Football
was
fans, you
fuming,
football
bro.
fans hold grudges. You know, you niggas say I'm petty. You football fans hold.
Yeah, because
No, but
it's like
it's
your
a
fam-
serious
it's like your-
though.
Gemini is
like your family.
Gemini is a big Ronaldo fan. Like when I say Gemini, big Ronaldo fan.
everyone I know that's a Ronaldo fan. You
When-
know that whole Messi Ronaldo argument. Everyone that's like a Ronaldo fan is so annoying about it.
No, but with Gemini this time, bro, when Ronaldo was talking shit about Manchester, just said fuck Ronaldo. So, like,
Yeah,
the way he talks
I know-
about
I know
it
he
now,
hurt them, he
the
hurt
way
them.
that's
I
why I
know
was like,
there's a
them
few
men hold
fans.
grudges.
Yeah,
The
they
way,
No, I was
the
gonna-
minute Ronaldo said something about United, bro, the
It's
tone.
a deeper love and emotion, though. That's
Yeah.
commitment. Like being a fan of a club for over 10 years. That's a full grown.
But you know what
that's
I
a
respected?
relationship. It's
I
a natural
respected
relationship.
it. You know what I respected at that point where I realized that they love the club more than the person. Because when he started talking shit about the club, they were like, you know what, we love Ronaldo.
Yeah, but ain't
fuck
that.
Ronaldo.
No, but some United fans, I think it split United fans because a lot of United fans are like, you're a legend to the club, whatever. But some were like, do you know what? I hear what you're saying because
It's been happening.
the club is not improved and we're a giant, but we're doing.
Doing
But
mad
we're not even
stuff.
finished. When's the last time we won a league? 2012, I think it was United.
Yeah, yeah, 10
Do you know what I'm
years,
saying?
10
The last time
years.
we won was the UEFA Cup. Like United are not even Champions League like that. That's not supposed to happen. So Ronaldo, remember, Ronaldo's left at United's height. He's come back.
so what the fuck is going on?
chipped.
I think Jesse Lingard said the same shit. I think Jesse Lingard said the same shit where he was
listening to
like,
Drew in the changing room. Ronaldo's fuming.
Oh, what was that? I see all the memes about
Yeah, the
smart
meme,
whips and all sorts.
bro, you know what? Yeah, because you know me. So the way I consume stuff, Taser will tell you. Like
Sancho's listening
I don't
to
watch
Harlem
football.
Spartans and them.
I don't watch
To the
football,
eating cake,
but I
yeah,
will
you know my
consume. I don't watch football, but I will consume everything around football. So I'll pick up on loads of stuff that happens around. You know what I mean? Football, essentially. You know, with the memes and stuff. So when all of that stuff was happening, when the Sancho stuff, where we're talking about he's coming and Sancho was doing balloons.
Yeah, it was a lot. Like, people
And
doing
he's
a lot.
fuming. But like I said, Lingard,
There's no way he was doing that though.
No.
They're taking the piss.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, Ronaldo's come in and he's eating like cake and not dieting and that. And he's asked him, like, oh, is this your
Bro.
diet? And he's like, hey, come on, you know my team.
Do you know about this thing? It's me and
When
Knox.
Ronaldo said he don't want his son
Allegedly.
drinking, fizzy drinks and stuff at home, where it's like his son's talking about he wants to be this and he's drinking fizzy drinks. I was like, if this is how he is
Have you seen?
at
Have
home
you seen his son
with
play
his
ball?
youth-
He's basically Ronaldo,
Some
bro.
must be good.
Bro, the way if you hear Ronaldo speak about like, there's no way like if this is how he speaks about his youth and he's going to training and seeing man like you said going out and eating cake,
but you know what it
he
is?
must be losing his mind.
But me and Lance had a conversation, I think it was 3 days ago, and we were like, the level of dedication that Ronaldo has had his whole life. Like Lance was like, does he have fun? Do you think he has fun? I'm like, he must have fun, but fun with
What do
discipline.
you mean no?
Like,
No, I said when I say no, I mean
No,
Ronaldo.
no, but-
everything's about him is winning.
No, but you're forgetting. Fun is because we see fun as going raving, maybe getting pissed, whatever. Ronaldo, fun for him might just be
Playing football.
I don't know, though.
no, going to a rave, but he might leave because he knows he's got a match. Or if I've got a match, I'm not going to go raving.
Yeah, I don't know though, because
You know what I'm
like
saying?
you say going football, but like fun for me before I blew was like going studio and making music. I'm not saying I don't enjoy it now.
Yeah,
Obviously,
yeah.
I fucking love it. It's like my passion, what I do for a living. But that you get
Work
adjusted to it quite quickly,
Yeah.
and it becomes work. The same way like my playlist now is so much more diverse than it's ever been because I'm in the rap scene and I'm surrounded by rap constantly when I'm working. I've got some house music on my playlist, and I'll switch it up, and that you find other things as like not an escape, but like that's an outlet to let your hair down.
And I'm sure it influences you as well. Like the more music you consume,
Yeah.
it's better for you in terms of writing.
And there's so many formulas to hits and things like that you can.
All right, so what's...
I feel like with Ronaldo, Taser, I feel like with him, do you know what fun for him is? Winning.
Yeah.
If he does not win, because if you look at the way the World Cup affected him, I feel like he's one of those people that is going to
That
fuck
was
with
sad,
him.
so.
That will fuck with
with
him for a very long time.
Yeah, but
You know, because he's one of those people.
I feel like
where-
he slightly ruined his legacy a little bit as well, but just with the whole Man U thing. Like, I feel like the
time, innit?
comparison now of Messi and Ronaldo shouldn't
Messi
even
won.
be a conversation.
That's because Messi won, though.
Yeah, I mean,
That's like
if
on
Messi didn't
paper.
win-
Like when you put it
No,
on
but if
paper,
Messi
Marvin,
didn't
like
win-
on paper.
no, I don't even
won.
mean necessarily even take away the World Cup. Just in the sense of like, I'm not saying who's better. I mean, like legacy wise, I feel like he's not destroyed, but it's definitely a lot more tarnished than
But
what it
do you
was.
know
like.
what-
It's a chink in his armor.
No, do you know what?
No,
Do you know what?
Do you know why it's not? Because
Bro, he's playing in Saudi Arabia.
you're talking about
no.
that. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about
You're
that.
telling me
I'm
that's
ta-
not a chink
I'm
in his
not-
armor?
No,
No,
it's not.
because
It's not.
the thing is, that's like saying, as Taser said on the episode of David Beckham and MLS.
People
No,
didn't
that was a
understand.
choice.
Yeah, but the difference.
One
yeah.
second, the reason why there's a chink because at the time
We didn't know what it
everyone
meant.
was like, "What's Beckham doing?" But then now you're seeing that he earned 500 million from it, and he's got a football team out there, whatever. We don't know if this what Ronaldo's done
a move.
until 5 years time. Because
It is a move. No,
Yeah, that's
Ronaldo's
what I'm
bare
saying.
money, but
He's making
at
like
the-
200 mil a week.
That's what I'm
No,
saying.
I'm not
No,
talking
no,
about-
no,
I'm
no,
not
that.
talking
So,
about
for
that. I'm
example,
talking about,
in terms of Beckham, sorry to cut you there. So, for example, when Beckham took the deal in America, it was a case of he got revenue from everything.
Oh yeah.
So
Like
hot dogs, drinks, tickets.
So
Yeah,
he
everything.
took a
Do you know what I'm
70% pay cut
So everyone-
because he was thinking
So
ahead.
everyone looking at him is thinking, why would you go to you left Real Madrid to go MLS?
And then you find out 5
but
years
then
later.
you
Okay.
find out 5 years later that
The only
this is
the
all
only argument I
thing.
got for that is when he done his Piers Morgan interview, he's like, I see you as a player that wants to play for these big teams and you could take the big money, and he goes, yeah, I could take the big money, but I don't want to do that. And then within 3 months,
He done it.
No,
that's all of them words.
No, but I think that's different though because in terms of United,
They weren't nothing there for him. They weren't nothing there for him.
And I feel like the thing is, football's a weird thing. It's like it depends on what metrics you're looking at for players. So, for example, a lot of people would say Messi's not the greatest because he came into a team with Xavi, Ronaldinho. Like you came at the. I'm not saying I'm just.
Yeah,
playing devil's advocate.
wasn't it Fergie said that if Ronaldo had the same start as Messi, he'd have like double the amount of statistics. that he's
But
got.
Ronaldo, remember, he came into United as a kid from
Young
Lisbon.
boy, yeah.
No one knew him. Do you know what I'm saying? Whereas Messi came with a big, like, this is the next thing.
Yeah,
I'm not saying,
yeah.
obviously, it's still pressure, Ronaldo's done it in the Premiership,
Everywhere.
La Liga, Italy. Yeah, Italy and back
I
to
forget,
the
I forget Italy.
and back to the Prem. Whereas Messi's just been in Spain his whole life.
Yeah.
So there's so many different
Surrounded by,
arguments of
arguably one of the best teams in the world. Yeah.
Exactly. So there's so many arguments for and against. And Ronaldo, in terms of goals, he scored way more goals. He's a Champions League top goal scorer. No one scored more goals than him in football in general.
So I'm assuming you're Team Ronaldo.
No, I'm joyous. I'm just for
He's
me.
saying based on how we measure it.
Do you think Ronaldo's a victim of his own success?
No, do you know?
In terms of, okay, when I was speaking to Jim, and I told you he's a big fan or whatever, we were having this conversation now. So besides Saudi Arabia, right? What team do you think Ronaldo, like, if he's left Man U now, what team do you think he could have gone to now? Where, you know what I mean, in his current status, position or whatever?
Wait, I need to answer that question in two ways. One question, one way would be if you're just talking about the level of where he wants to play.
Not just the level. I'm like a team where he will be functional and he can fit into the team.
No, it's not about.
Yeah,
You're talking about. It's not about that with Ronaldo.
It's not about
with
that.
Ronaldo, the reason why a lot of teams didn't want to buy him, is because he's expensive, bro. And I'm not just talking about his transfer fee. He can come for free. But everything that comes with Ronaldo is a cost, bro.
There's that, but they were
so I
like,
have to
didn't
bet
they
on
say
it.
like people were struggling to work around him?
No, but Ronaldo's not going to come to your team and be on 100 bags a week, for example. Yeah.
No,
you can get him for
100%.
free.
So let's
you're paying him 500 bags a week.
Give
Do you
him
know what I'm saying? Like,
give him whatever you want to give him. Can he work with everyone?
No, you can't give him whatever you want to give him. Only certain teams can afford to.
And also, you don't understand with football as well. Yeah, for example, all right, he's Man United affiliated, Real Madrid affiliated, Juventus affiliated. Cool. So if you come back to the league, the only teams that can really afford him are like a Chelsea, a City, United,
and maybe Newcastle. But
Man United could afford him and it didn't work.
No, but that's different because he came back to a club. Whereas he's not going to go City because of United.
No,
so
he can never.
it's ruled out.
Imagine.
No, but he said he was thinking about it though.
No, but
and Fergie made the call.
No, I think it's just a push.
Like a narrative thing.
He can't go.
But Fergie made the call.
Imagine.
If he goes to Spain,
But Fergie believed it. Is what I'm saying.
he can't go to Spain and go to Barcelona.
No, I hear you.
So
What I'm saying is,
if he goes to Italy, maybe him and Juventus haven't got that, so maybe he can go to another team. But Italy,
Juventus now is
no, but I'm saying there's no money in Italy. So I'm saying you got to look at everything in terms of clubs. It's not that like, is Ronaldo, can they afford him? He's not going to go to certain places. Only certain footballers, not that scummy, they will play anywhere and they don't care. Certain people will think my legacy. If he goes to Barcelona, Real Madrid, they're burning these shirts, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
They might move to him, and he won't be able to play at El Clasico.
No.
He won't be able to play.
No.
But so you're saying who he is doesn't affect where he can go?
No, I'm saying that.
Yeah, it does.
Him as a brand. Yeah.
No, even as a brand. So that's why I was like, for me again, like I said, you know me, I'm outside looking in.
So the only other metric that makes sense is money.
And there's money. So let's say there's a team. That's what I'm saying. Man, you could afford him because from what I was hearing is, you know what I mean, like again, outside looking in, they were like other players, you know, or the team is struggling because they then have to build the team around him because of who he is and how he plays.
It's his brand.
No,
but that's what I'm saying. Doesn't
no.
that fuck with the team?
No.
Because you've got a team, you bring him in, and then it has to change everything.
Look
Work around him.
I hear you, but because
Look at the pressure that Sancho would have been under. Yeah. Where at Dortmund, he's just playing with his man them. And then now he's playing with his man them, like Rashford and all that. But he's got the pressure of Ronaldo. That's going to fuck with you, bro.
So he's coming
I don't think so.
What you saying? He's coming in.
A man's 37 coming in at 5 a.m. Bro, don't you sleep? What's going on? Don't you get a night in, bro? Like, come on, man.
No, but the thing is, you come in.
I'm 21, by the way, and I think I'm the wavy left wing. Ronaldo's come, my better serious than that. Trying to bust a joke with me. Listen, focus, Jaden.
Do you know who he's like, Tazer? He's like Magic. He's like Michael Jordan. He's like Michael Jordan. Remember Michael Jordan? When we're talking about Michael Jordan coming in,
he coming first and leave last.
You're trying to enjoy training, and he's coming in there sticking it on.
But remember, these men want to achieve greatness, so I get it. But at the same time, this is why I was saying United had a good run back then. When they bought Ronaldo, they didn't need to.
No, but my thing, I hear what you're saying, but my problem is I feel like they're saying, I think Mourinho said it, that like when I was managing, Lampard at 23 was a man. Nowadays, these 23-year-olds, it's very different. Like, the climate's changed.
Didn't he just get fired from somewhere? I just saw a news thing he popped up.
Lampard got fired. Everton.
But think about it. When you think about footballers, for example, like Robin, Hazard, Drogba, like whatever. These men were playing their league.
They were that age,
up and they were like 22.
Yeah.
Whereas now when you say 22...
Them men look like they were 30
now when you say 22-year-old, you're like...
You'll be like, oh, he's young still, But also, the age of when footballers retire now is also a lot later than what it used to be as well.
Yeah.
So
the discipline's different, that's why.
So
Ronaldo's pushing that boundary.
So
100%.
Ronaldo's coming in. Like, even there's a story about Kobe where, like, the they were playing a game at LA Lakers, and all these teams were wearing these trainers, and they were losing. Kobe came in after and said, "Everyone take off my trainers, bro."
No, take off.
You can't fuck up the brand like that.
Everyone take off my trainers. Said, like, you ain't fit enough to wear my
That's like
trainers.
I'm making
bro.
a shit tune and having
was it
beats all
Kobe?
in the fucking
Kobe,
video.
is it everybody taking my trainers right now?
I'm saying, Marvin, was it Kobe or Michael
That's it,
Jordan that
not
come in
deserved.
and man them out there partying and shit? A man says, "You man, and you lost."
Bro, they lost the
Yeah.
game here on the coach back here. One of them tried to eat a salad.
Man said,
Jordan slapped it out his
man
hand.
said, "You're
He said, "We
eating.
lost.
You
can't
lost.
eat.
You're eating."
You can't eat, bro. What are you doing?
Man said, "You're eating
He's looking
around me."
He's looking at all the other players for help. They're like, nah, bro. It's Jordan.
But you know why
bro.
Jordan was wavy, bro?
It's Jordan.
Because he was doing everything he was doing and going home to a cigar. Do you man know how?
Yeah, for
do
the
you know how
lungs
much
as
a
well.
cigar's hitting your chest?
But you know, Jordan used to like do things that like people said were unheard of. There's one time where there was a guy, can't remember what this guy's name was, and they played a game, and this guy scored 37 points in the whole game, innit? And this game, Jordan was missing bare points. Like it was an unusual game for Jordan. And apparently, at the end of the game, the brother said to Jordan that I got 37 points. Well played, Jordan. They said Jordan said what? Cool. Jordan went home. The next game, Jordan said, "I'm gonna score 37 points in the first quarter just for this brother." For the brother. They said Jordan came out the blocks on
Swinging.
heat. They said they didn't know what was going on. 37 points in the first half of first quarter. He scored that guy's whole points in the whole game in the first half to prove a point.
Yeah.
It was
Brother.
moving like, what's my man's name? Amanda Chopin.
Yeah, bro, when he talk about Kobe, no, that's
What?
exactly what I was going to talk about. Iman, yeah, he's talking about in the game. He's like halfway through the game or something. Kobe told him, "Good game." And the nigga's like,
It ain't over yet.
The game ain't over, bro.
Yeah.
Man said he's hit him up and he was like, whatever. Dude is like, this nigga's bugging.
But you know what
and
is
he
it-
said the was dumping on them all game long to the point where he's like, what? He's like, what is he
Do you know how
on?
mad it is in sport where, like, do you know how good you have to be to say to someone,
Good game. 20
gonna
minutes into the
watch.
game.
"I'm gonna do you now"?
Yeah.
Like, as in, like,
I've had my fun, like.
But
go time.
like, and you know how mad it is to turn on that switch, because in football sometimes a game can get past you and it's just not your day, innit?
Yeah.
Whereas certain
Mentality
people-
But
and
he
all
should
of that.
turn into
Yeah.
that. Look at
like Messi, Ronaldo, there's certain people that can turn a game and you're just like, "Raw."
One man, yeah, that one
I
man
think
power.
for me with football, Marvin,
starting
it's
level is nuts.
great because I'm an outsider looking in. Look at the World Cup, right? So I was watching the final like everyone else. You're enjoying it. And I was watching it, and for France, it looked like it was not going their way. And that last quarter of the game or whatever, where
Mbappe just
bro, and
turned
he's
up,
gone and
bro.
he's just done free.
But
You know when you're
that
like,
game was
but this
fucking-
is it.
forget
You know
how
when
unreal
you,
that fucking
bro,
game was.
but,
So you went to it?
when-
No, I was watching it.
but when he
Went
gets,
to the
you know,
Euro
when
final.
you're,
Okay.
when you're talking about a man just getting in the zone,
Nah,
he
but
went
you see-
from
you see,
it's a
did it?
terrible game
Ah,
because it
nah.
was a terrible
Do you know
game
what,
for them,
it's
and then it
nah, but
wasn't.
sorry to cut you, yeah? Go on.
I was going to say Deschamps, the manager, he made, I think, is it 2 changes?
He made
And
bare
brought-
changes.
No,
He
but I'm
put the
saying,
brother with the cornrows
when
on,
he brought
that
on,
nigga with the cornrows
Kolo
changed the game.
Muani and is it
And
Kingsley
Thuram.
Coleman? Is it
Coleman.
Thuram?
Coleman was the one that changed the game.
And he brought on Thuram
and Coleman as well.
Yeah. Those 4, yeah, mad thing. That's when it changed the game.
Coleman's the one with the cornrows.
Now there was a couple guys with cornrows.
No,
There was a
like
tall
Coleman.
brother with cornrows,
Bro,
and
no,
then-
he's brown skin. It's your complexion with the cornrows.
He's got the Mohican.
Yeah, you're talking about
No,
that.
Coleman, bro. The brother with the cornrows was one of the, and you know me, I don't know names, but the brother with the cornrows, he was going in, and that's where the game started changing.